All right. Are we ready to start?
Think so.
I mean, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. In that case, here we go, friends.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Here it comes, baby. Get ready, because here we go.
Let me talk. I am talking.
Yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that we play. News, reviews, and an indie pick.
That's
Stu story
suspicious.
time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite savior.
Welcome, please, enormous genitals.
It's the veteran gamers.
I'm a potato.
It's the veteran gamers.
Yesterday was the birthday of legendary Dutch flautist Frans Blumheim.
Homer, there's a man here who thinks he can help you.
Batman?
No, he's a scientist.
Batman's a scientist.
It's not Batman.
Jesus, oh how I love you, Jesus.
Hello and welcome to episode 681 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yay, 681. What's up, everybody? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
Yeah.
And
There you
that's
go.
Chinny.
Yeah, there
Stu's
he
the
is.
one who's all bundled up like a teddy bear. He
I
looks
know,
like
it's
he's
fucking freezing
bracing
again
for the
here, isn't
winter.
it? It's goddamn
Get a space
freezing.
heater. They're like 20 quid.
No, fucking can't afford that. In this, do you know how
No.
much fucking electric is now in this country?
Well,
Jesus
I hear
Christ,
ya,
man.
but-
I put one of them things on for 10 minutes. It'll be like our electric bill will go up by about 200 quid.
All right, well, I'm sorry to hear it.
Honestly,
Anyway,
it's fucking awful.
yeah. How's everybody besides cold?
Cold.
Right.
Yeah, fine. Well, good.
Yeah.
I got one of
So
those
there you
electric
go.
heaters because I'm not a massive tight ass.
It's not about being tight, man. It's fucking money's tight.
wait a
Too
minute.
tight to
Hey,
mention. Telling
Well,
you.
okay, but hang on a second though. How long have you had this conservatory that's freezing cold all the time?
Fucking too long.
Well, you've had it for a few years before the price of energy went
Oh,
crazy
that's
high,
20,
right?
18 years. 18
All right,
years,
so
I think, yeah.
this has nothing to do with you. This current
How long
spike
has
in
Stu been
power
tight for?
costs.
50
No, it's
years.
Yeah,
fucking,
right.
it's fucking just freezing in here, but you know what? I'm
Stuart
wrapped
the
up warm.
stingy
I've got
lad.
layers.
He's
I've got
not
layers.
paid full price for anything he's ever had.
I've got
He
look, I've
must
got my
be a
veteran gamers
stingy
hat on.
fucker. He don't want to be a sucker. So me
Wow.
and you will listen as Stu tells a story about saving 2 quid on some bullshit.
It's
'cause he's
not,
such a
man. Honestly, you can't believe
cheapskate.
how expensive. Like I was going to
I
say,
believe
petrol,
you,
but that's
but,
expensive
but,
too.
but we were having this conversation 1 year ago today. You were having the same attitude.
Look, I'm fine, all right. I'm wrapped
All right,
up
I'm
warm.
glad you're fine.
I'm fine. I've got my
Okay.
hoodie on. I'm all
I shouldn't
wrapped
have a
up.
go at you because you look silly with all your 17 layers of clothing.
Look, I want to stay warm. I don't think that's a problem. Why is that a problem
I want
to
you
you?
to stay warm.
It's so
All
good
right.
of you to do the show from the North Pole.
I know.
He's
Fucking
got
am.
his
I
bowl
feel-
of
I
Noglock.
feel like I'm in the North Pole. It's that cold in here tonight, I tell you.
It's time for a story, it's time for a story. A very special story, especially for you.
Who's got a special story?
I don't know, have we?
Nothing
Mm.
happened today at all.
No, today's been a bit of a
Let's see, what
boring
can I tell you
day,
about my
actually.
week? Yeah, my week has not been boring, but it's been stressful. We're coming to the end of the semester, which means the students are like, "Oh my god, I got to get all this work turned in," and so I'm
Yeah,
getting
they
these
do.
piles of late work. And everyone's like, "Have you graded my late work yet?" I'm like, "Hell no, I haven't graded your late work. God damn." I sacrificed so many hours of my winter break for grading papers, and now
But that's
it's
because your
like,
kids are lazy. That's the trouble.
no, well, I mean, yeah, but
Well,
you know,
yeah.
whatever. The point is that I sacrificed a lot of time over winter break, so now the idea of grading it on my off hours is like, ugh, God, I don't want to grade papers when I'm not at school. But whatever. I didn't come here to whinge about that. Generally,
you
it's
did.
been an okay week. Yeah.
I've
but
got some
okay.
news. Got some news.
Oh, new video game news already?
no,
okay, here
no.
we go. Oh,
The weight loss is going well. I've lost 2.5 stones altogether
all
now.
right.
2.5 stones. I
Glad to
walked
hear it. Are you-
15 miles this week. What
Are
I've
you
done
feeling
walking.
well? Are you healthy?
I'm feeling
That's the real
fine.
question.
Things are good at the moment. I've also, by the way, I've got my appointment through for my ICD, so that's happened.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'm going there to be assessed, but that's not till the 21st of March. And then he's going, yeah, we're going to stick some shit in you that'll make your heart come back to life if it decides to fuck up. So that'll be good.
Okay.
So, you know, all's
Uh,
good.
Easy Lee in the
Yeah.
chat says Chinny needs to be in the hat crew. So I put-
Absolutely. I've got
I'll
a
put
hat.
a hat
Duke's
on.
got a hat.
Yeah, I got a hat.
I'll put
Yeah,
a
we've
hat
got
on.
hats.
I'll put a hat on.
All right.
You look different with a hat on. Oh wait, no, we can't really see it. It's just a bowl. It looks like a
It's a-
bowl from here.
It is a ball.
If I had a bowl, I'd put it top down on my.
Just a
head.
minute, whoa.
Stay on
There's
better.
crumbs in it.
Is that the bowl you used to cut your hair?
No,
No,
it's not
there's-
really a hat, is it though?
Anything on your
Anything.
head is a hat.
Anything could be a hat if you try hard enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a bowl. and
Um,
you didn't even have it the right way up.
well,
I mean,
there's
you
crumbs
gotta
in it.
size
I didn't want
Chinese
the
hats.
Oh,
crumbs.
that's all right. He'll just join all the other crumbs in
Let's
your hair.
all
What's your
criticize
problem?
each other for what
Honestly.
we're wearing.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm not
Stick
wearing
the
a
bowl on your head properly.
I'm not
and then
wearing
you
a
can
hat.
cut
Okay.
around it.
Anyway, thank
get
you
a
everyone for
haircut.
joining us. We have no stories. We have no nothing. I guess we're just going to
It's
jump
almost
right
like
into
we
what
should
we've
talk
been
about
playing.
fucking video games, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
Like,
that-
Where are
that
you
would be
going?
useful.
Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
Rather watching. What you been watching? Actually, it's watching. Because here's the thing. We didn't do a play my game bitch this week. We did a watch my show bitch.
Yeah, we did.
We all watched the same show.
Yeah, we did.
It's a show
Can I just say
that has
the
been developed by a
second-
good dear friend of mine. How?
the,
What?
s- the second highest viewed show in the last 13 years on HBO. It is.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
The show is Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
it is. Oh, I love that show.
And we have been
honestly,
keeping up with them.
Yeah.
Specifically the part where they turn into zombies.
that's exactly.
So,
What did you think
but hang
about
on a second.
Chloe?
Right. Before we get to this, I have to say, Chinny, I hate you. Because,
Thank you.
yeah, Chinny's all, there's a show you'll love, Duke. It's a Top House Summer Boy. You're going to want to check it out.
Top
It's
Boy.
so good. Oh, Drake made it happen. Summer Boy
Yeah,
is so great.
amazing.
And I'm watching it, and now I'm like, okay, either that kid or that dog's getting got. And shame on you for making me care about them because I just know something's going to come up. It's going to make me like, oh, that kid and or that dog. Fuck you, Chinny.
Nice.
It's a good show though.
Did you
It
like
is a
it
good show
though?
so
Did you
far.
like it?
I watched 2 episodes so
No,
far, and
no, he's
it's
talking
very
about
good.
Top Boy. He's talking about Top Boy. Stu, you're
No,
right.
no, that's why I know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know.
with us.
Sometimes, Stu, you're on a
And
different page.
do you know, unlike you, Chinny,
But not
I
right
actually
now.
listen.
You what?
Yeah, exactly.
I
ain't gonna fall
People
for
should
that
think
shit.
before they speak.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
get you at
exactly.
some point.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
no, it is good. It reminds me sort of a British Wire, although it's funny because in an American version of that show, the mother would be like, you just can't get out of bed with depression. And then they'd be like, oh, she's dead. The next episode would just be like, well, she died. And because,
Yeah.
you know, we don't have healthcare in this country. But anyway, it's good. And the acting is great. And,
Great acting.
you know, yeah. It's you know, a little at certain times it's like, okay, yeah, like you said, you know, food is money or food is drugs, and
P.
there was something else that they were talking about. And I was like trying to, you know, and I knew what it was. I thought it was an
Peas.
interesting
Have
slang
you got
term.
peas? Yo, you got to earn those peas.
Peas is the money, right? There was something else. I guess I don't know. Whatever.
What
yeah,
other
no, it's
idioms
good.
did you like?
Well, that's what I'm trying to remember, and I can't because
That's what I'm
you know I'm
fascinated
usually watching it while I wash dishes or something. So, and I'll tell you, this is the thing. I was watching 30 Rock, which is, you know, funny. I've seen it 100 times. I can quote episodes by heart. And so to go from that to this, you know, I can't watch this while I'm making my bagel in the morning on the way to school. Like,
No.
it deserves your full attention. You know. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
sounds
good.
like it.
It is very good. I'm enjoying it. So.
great show. Shall we talk about
Top
the,
House Summer Boy?
the Last of Us?
Yeah, shall we
Yes,
talk about
The Last
that?
of Us.
I didn't
Second
know
Which, by the
episode's
way,
on tonight, by the way.
when I bring the Duchess into this, it's a similar dynamic because I'm like, oh, this young lady in the first episode, yeah, don't get too attached to her.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of interesting because I got Kay to watch it as well.
I got
Yeah.
Tara to watch it
And
as
We're
well.
gonna drag all of
Kay-
our loved ones into this
Yeah.
cry pain
Well,
fest.
Tara's out.
Yeah,
Wow.
Kay's out. Kay's out.
Oh my
She's just
God.
like,
Yeah.
Kay's agreed to watch the second episode under duress,
Uh-huh.
but she was like, "Do you know why Kay's out?" This
Tara's
is
not
really weird.
Tara's not wearing a dress while watching the second episode.
Right. Okay.
What did you say? Duress. It's a joke.
Under duress. I get you.
I got you.
It's a joke.
Why would you
dude.
do anything with your wife under duress?
Yeah.
Exactly.
She doesn't.
But
get
here's the
duress.
thing.
I'm
here's
serious. Why are
Kay's
you
thing.
making your wife watch it?
So, no, here's the thing, right? I thought she might like it because she liked The Walking Dead first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
fair
it's
enough.
like, you know, she might like this.
So what's the difference?
Well, I'll tell you what the difference is.
Carl.
Okay.
No, Kay.
Carl.
No, Kay originally, right? She doesn't like sci-fi. She can't believe would happen.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So any sort of TV show where she thinks, "Oh,
Right.
that could never happen,"
Yeah.
she automatically
people are
Well,
like,
here's the
off.
okay, right. But here's the thing. Imagine watching this show with someone who has a PhD in biochemistry, who spends a lot of her time studying plants, especially mushrooms.
Oh God.
So we start this show. She's like, "Oh, come on!" And I'm like, all right. Just would you have a suspension of disbelief?"
But
Yeah.
let me get to the point, right?
Well, that was my
So,
point.
although
That's the
she
most important
normally
point.
doesn't like shows she can't believe in, she doesn't like this show because she thinks it could happen.
Right.
So she's like, why do I
okay.
want a show, especially after COVID, that's like the apocalypse? and
Well,
it's
look,
something
okay,
that
fair enough.
might
I mean,
happen.
yeah. Well, I can see it being heavy for her. Like,
Hello.
you know,
she fell
people
asleep for
often
most of
want
it, to be
stories
fair.
that are an escape.
Yeah.
And this,
Yeah.
I can see this not being an escape for her.
Spoilers for Earth. This won't happen.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, I didn't know that young lady who plays Ellie was the girl from Game of Thrones. I didn't
Oh yeah,
realise
Lady
that.
Mormont. I knew that from the start. I loved
I'm-
her in Game of Thrones.
I
by the
don't
way.
really
She was
like her in
great.
this. I don't know why. I just think she's.
Oh, I
Here's
thought
a
she was
question
good.
that I have. We
I
couldn't
like the
figure this
first
out.
girl, but I don't know. Just this. I thought. She
Is
was
the
a bit
one
annoying.
they bring in a wheelchair? Is that Ellie, a young Ellie, or is that a different girl just for the sake of showing them like, here's what we do when someone shows up with us?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
And halfway through the episode, there's some girl that shows up with
What?
like,
Who
red
staggers
hair
through
and,
the
like,
desert?
yeah.
No, he dumps her in the fire. They inject her, kill her because she's positive, and then he
Oh, I
dumps
didn't
her in
realize
the
she was
fire.
positive.
I thought that was a
I
boy.
guess I missed that.
Yeah, it was a boy, little lad. And they
Oh,
go,
well,
"Don't
anyway,
worry, we're
okay,
going to
well,
give you
never
some
mind
medicine
then.
to make you
I
better."
guess I missed something there.
I think
And
I
he-
think the
when
whole
he-
point of that scene was to emphasise that like it's
Like,
pretty,
how grim
like,
it is.
how brutal
Oh,
it-
sure,
they have
sure,
to be.
sure. I hear you.
to-
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think the thing that I heard about was how the disease spread. Now there are clues of how it spreads in the episode. Did you pick up on the clues?
No, I didn't. and I didn't
Tendrils,
see
man.
the
They've
clicker
got
at the very
tendrils
end
coming
either.
out of the mouth.
No,
That thing
no,
on
no,
Reddit
no.
about the clicker at the
So
very
there's
end.
constant references to the butter company in the world.
Oh, how it
Okay.
starts, you mean?
Yeah,
Not
so-
how it
so-
spreads, how
so-
it begins.
No, how it spreads. So there's something about it being in milk and dairy and butter, and if you watch the show, there's lots of close calls of people eating bread. So he doesn't buy the birthday cake. She doesn't eat the cookies because they've got
I never
raisins in
saw
them.
that.
And the reason why the
gotcha.
grandma gets it is because she has a cookie, and there you go. So basically, anybody that eats
Interesting.
bread in that first episode is doomed.
Yeah, because it
Good
is
to
quite
know.
interesting. Because how do so many people get infected
So
who haven't come into contact with someone else? I like that.
yeah. So I didn't pick that up at all, but apparently that's like how the grandma got it. Because I was like, how did she get it? She's just sitting
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
fucking wheelchair. But spoilers for the first episode of Last of Us, by the way. It's like I was impressed at how good it close it was to the game,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Sure.
like I didn't come away from that thinking like, oh my god, that's like the best show I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Well, the danger,
considering,
of course. Go ahead.
I was going to say, considering it's got 98 on Rotten Tomatoes currently,
Yeah,
one of the highest rated shows ever.
You have to be
It's-
kind of close because otherwise fans of the game will hate it, but you can't be too close because
Yeah.
then fans of the game will be like, well, this is just like what I've already.
We know what's going to
I
happen.
wonder like
Right.
what they're gonna do in terms of like how they're gonna progress the story, because obviously
Yeah.
are they gonna stick with the first one? I think I've already seen a character that's coming up, or a couple of characters that are coming up that are definitely in the first game. So are they gonna follow the first game and the second game? Are they gonna follow the first
No,
game?
I think the second game is going to be the second season. is what
yeah,
I
but there's quite a time jump in those. He goes from 15 to 19.
No, I
So-
agree.
So there's a lot of shit that
Well,
happens
then they'll
between.
just fill in each of the.
That's what I'm
years
saying,
with
like-
a
Did
season.
you also know that the game's set in 2033, whereas the film's set in 2023?
There's no film. It's a TV show. Come on, get it straight.
Well, the TV show. Do you know why that is?
Uh,
Because Neil Druckmann and the other writer of the show and director felt that if they set it in 2033, there would be more of a disconnect, and if they set it in 2023, it's like shit. That shit could be happening now.
Mm.
gotcha.
So that's why they changed. So they changed the whole timeline.
I also read
I
that
see.
the film starts in 2003. The outbreak happens in 2003. So imagine living in a world where you didn't get to see the third Lord of the Rings film. How tragic would
know.
that be?
But in the
And maybe the
in
U.S.
the,
didn't invade
in,
Iraq.
in the TV show, the outbreak starts in 2013. So it's sort of that there's a difference.
Wow, we sound like such goddamn.
I know,
nerds
we're just
right
fucking
now.
geeks, aren't we,
No,
right
it's
now?
2003. It's 2003.
No, no. Oh yeah, it is. It's 20 years, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. It's 1993. Sorry, in the game. So, yeah.
So I thought it was okay. Tara is out because she was like, I can't do zombies anymore because of The Walking Dead killed it. She's
Yeah, as
had
you
a-
see, we stopped watching The Walking Dead.
she hates The Walking Dead because of how long it dragged on. So she's like, as soon as she found out it was a zombie story, she's like, I'm done. I have
Well,
no
I sure don't want
investment
this to drag
Wow.
on, but I guess
in
we'll
any
see.
of this.
I don't know. I'm hoping that Kay can turn it around and maybe carry on watching it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a question about whether the show can turn her around.
True. We'll see. She has agreed to watch the second episode, to give it a go. So she's at least giving it a
Okay.
go.
She'll agree to do
Yeah.
that if you put the gun down.
I know exactly. How about the Duchess? What has she agreed?
Yeah, she's
keep
in.
watching.
She seems, and we tend to watch a lot of heavy stuff. She loves science fiction, even if it can happen or if it can't. Yeah, she's pretty easygoing when it comes to watching stuff. And this is not related to The Last of Us, but last night we were looking for something a little lighter after having watched The Last of Us on Friday night, and we watched a movie with Paul Rudd called Our Idiot Brother. And it says he's a goofball fuck up. He sells marijuana to a uniformed cop in the first scene. So that gives you an idea what kind of guy he is. Because the guy's like, oh, it's been such a rough week. I could really use something to take my mind off. He's like, all right. So he sells it to him. Anyway, it was good. It wasn't, the description said like he's a screw up, and but when he moves back into his sister's lives, hilarity ensues. I wouldn't really say hilarity ensued, although it is funny. But it's a really good movie. I thought they explored some heavy topics in a pretty good way, and it's just it is lighter, but it's it's satisfying. It's got Elizabeth Smart from The Hunger Games and 30 Rock. It's got a bunch of people I know from 30 Rock. It's got Adam Scott from Parks and Rec. He plays Ben on Parks and Rec. He's
Right.
in the Weekend Show, whatever it's called. And yeah, it's good. So thumbs up on
Can I
that.
just say?
Sorry.
Oh, go on.
Go ahead. No,
I was
go
just
ahead.
saying, going back to The Last of Us, can I just say, I
Yes.
thought Bella Ramsey, I thought she was really good as Ellie. I thought she was
Yeah.
what I really like, because obviously there's not that many changes from the game. But
Yeah.
I think she's a big change from the game, because Ellie in the first game is quite happy-go-lucky, not really that rebellious at the beginning of the game.
She is.
She seems shell shocked in the game, and in the movie or the show so far, she does not. She's
No,
she's
she
got
is.
a lot of spark to her.
Sure of herself, she is feisty. She's like, fuck you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
sure.
I think I like her better because I think she's a much more harder rounded character. She's a lot more. She's not going to take no shit off anyone.
It's gotta be weird for an actor. I mean, it's always weird for an actor to play a character that's been played by someone else before. But imagine playing a character that's never been played by a human before. Like that's weird.
Yeah, no, true. Well, it has, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, but whatever. So yeah, and the other show we've been watching is Silicon Valley. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this show. It's made by Mike Judge, who did Beavis and Butthead and Office
yeah.
Space and lots of other stuff. He's like a master of satire. It is a good satire of Silicon Valley. The biggest problem with the show is that the company Pied Piper, they're trying to develop this technology. Like at the start of an episode, they'll be in the most crushing, difficult situation ever, and at the end of the episode, they're like, every VC's trying to give them $10 billion. And then halfway through the next episode, they lose everything and they're down in the dumps again. It's just constantly up and down and up and down. And, it's kind of a whiplash situation following them up and down. But
it's a
there's
cartoon.
a great moment.
Is it a cartoon?
No. It's live
Oh, no.
action. It's got Kumail Nanjiani. It's got the dude from, y'all see Adventureland?
Yeah.
no,
The
I
zombie
feel like
film.
I
It's a good movie. No. That was
The-
Zombieland.
the one with,
Adventureland was the one with.
The chap from the
Um,
Social Network in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And,
correct. Yeah, I
Bella-
know what it is.
yeah.
I've just never seen
It's a
it.
great movie. So anyway, the dude who's constantly smoking a pipe, who's like easy there, Trotsky, he's in it, and he has a great character. He's probably the best character on the show, named Guilfoyle, who's this like anarcho-capitalist Satanist dude. He's just like so deadpan all the time, and he's great. Anyway, there's an episode where this one billionaire dude goes to China and he's trying to get these boxes made as fast as possible. And the factory, he gets in a tour of the factory, and the factory has like massage stations and a cafeteria with all these different options for food and break rooms everywhere. And he's stunned. He's like, where are the warehouses filled with people busting their butts 24 hours a day making these boxes? And the leader of the factory says this. He's like, we've renovated the factories. This is the new China you're looking at. And then he says, I want to get these things made right away. And he says,
You know our shameful history of worker suicides. Since the renovation, not a single one.
Not even one? Okay. There's got to be like a middle ground here.
there's got to be a middle ground here, which is a great way to describe what these companies are looking for in terms of the Chinese sweatshops. It's like, okay, yeah, we don't want people committing suicide every day, but every other day we'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a good show.
What's that show called?
Yeah. Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. If the complaint you had, Shinny, about Parks and Rec is that it's too happy, up and up, people getting better all the time. This is the opposite. This is
Absolutely.
like
that's more my thing.
wallowing.
Yeah, like I don't like
you
a
might
happy
like it
ending.
for that reason.
Yeah.
Well, there's no happy endings here. So.
Excellent.
But it is very funny. So there's that.
Very good.
All right, shall we talk about video games?
Sure.
Okay. Who wants to start? I guess I should start since I have the most.
You should start. I've only played one.
Okay.
I'm
going to talk a little bit about a game called Rocket League. And the only thing I have to say about it, I do want to say something because I don't think I've ever said this before. Look, when someone plays a game for 3,000 hours, like there's something going on there. I have to say, I realize that okay, I've never done heroin, so yet I've never done crack or meth.
Never.
Never.
So I don't
Not
know,
even once.
I don't know what those highs are like.
Little bit of crack.
Yeah.
No.
I tried a little bit.
Not yet. Not that I know. I mean, it's possible someone slipped some crack into my coffee.
I doubt that's happened.
When you was in Manchester, I did.
Anyway, the point is, I don't know what those highs are like, but I can tell you this: there are very few highs in my life that compare to playing a game of Rocket League in which I score a goal, we win, the people on my team have a good time, and the people on the other team have a good time. When all four of those things happen, it's just, oh my God, it's such a good feeling. And that's the thing I'm always chasing. And so, it doesn't happen very often, obviously. I win about half the games I play. I probably score in 70% of the ones that I play, maybe 60. But, the social element really is what makes it for me. Like, I wouldn't play this game very often if I didn't have the chat on. And people are always like, oh, you don't like the sour, angry, toxic children. Just turn the chat off. I'm like, no, I'm not turning the chat off because when it's great, it's great.
Yeah.
So
You're always
anyway,
searching for those classic moments or brilliant moments
exactly.
in multiplayer.
And I can't tell you how nice it is for people to say things. Here's the thing. Look, right. The more toxic the environment is, and Rocket League is very toxic, the more powerful it can be for someone to be kind to someone else in this game. It's kind of like how the British Office is like cringe, 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 painful, painful. And it makes that beautiful moment at the end of the Christmas special so much more powerful.
The payoff is so much better,
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I don't play it because I'm a nice person in the midst of shit. But it does feel good when someone's like, hey, this is the best game I've played all day. Like, it's so nice to have someone who's having fun.
Talking about that, you're talking about Parks and Rec, how I don't like happy endings and stuff. Is it Jerry and they changed his name to Terry and all that?
Yeah.
I
he has the happiest of happy endings.
I remember thinking, if they ever break that rule, the show finishes for me. Do you know what I mean? In my head, if they ever start being nice to that character, the running joke for people that don't watch Parks and Rec is this guy. His actual name is Gary, I think. But they call him Jerry, Terry. He's a clumsy sort of idiot, but he loves everyone, and everybody's horrible to him.
And everyone's always like, "Damn it, Jerry!"
Yeah.
The crew in the office has
Doesn't
Jerry
matter who.
dinner where they take $1 every time he does something stupid, like sits on his lunch, and they put it in a box, and then at the end of the year, they treat themselves to a fancy dinner.
There's never a moment where anybody's ever nice to him. They forget him all the time, all this stuff. And he's always happy. And I thought, if they ever break that rule, this show is finished for me. And then the last season, they decide to break that rule. I know. It's just funny, isn't it?
And to be fair, I don't know. I think here's the thing for me. I like shows that are okay. So The Simpsons is the gold standard in comedy, right? Because they have Homer say "don't" and Bart say "don't have a cow" until it becomes stale, and then they find new ways to do it. or they move on to some other joke. And I think that they did the Jerry Terry, thing as long as they could. And then they were like, all right, what can we do that's different? Well, how about Ben says he's my friend, and everyone's like, no, sit down. What are you doing, honey?
Yeah.
And then they just take it in the exact opposite direction with like his family that's gorgeous and Christy
that's
Brinkley
all. That's
plays
all
his
fun.
wife.
But as soon as they start to recognize, like the main cast start to recognize
Fair
that he's
enough.
actually successful.
Fair enough.
But I don't mind the stuff where he has like a beautiful wife and beautiful children.
Yeah, an
'cause
actual
that's,
good life.
That's
in
that's a
home.
great gag. But like the fact that they was like,
hear you.
oh, he's actually all right, actually. And I was like,
Right,
no,
right,
no,
right.
no, that's not
Yeah,
the
yeah,
joke.
yeah.
You gotta hate him
That's
no
fair.
matter what. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's not video games.
Anyway. Yeah, so Rocket League is awesome, and I have a lot of fun playing it, and that's all I wanted to say.
Rocket League. I was listening to the Seal podcast, and they're always searching. They're always playing multiplayer games, and they're always searching for that moment. Do you know what I mean? And I don't play many multiplayer games anymore, but I do know what that's like to search for that moment when you're playing a multiplayer game. You're playing with your friends, and like this magic thing happens. And they talked about they play a lot of like the Hunt, whatever bollocks it's called.
Hunt Showdown.
There you go. And he that like Neil was who sort of doesn't really play it that much. Even he admitted like that 10 minutes that we had on the Hunt was just amazing. So that's what you're always searching for it. You're always digging for it when you're playing PUBG or Rocket League. You're always digging for that like. For me, it's that Halo 3 Rocket Races moment of like, this is just pure joy. This is just absolute brilliant fun. Sure. And that doesn't even necessarily come from winning. That comes from like a funny moment or whatever.
And it's so much easier to find that when you are playing with people that you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's very hard to find when you're playing.
I think. Do you know what I think?
It does exist. It can happen.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it's quite interesting. They are loving the Hunt Showdown, and a lot of people seem to. It does really, really well.
Yeah.
And yet, a lot of these games like that have evolved from Evolve, which everybody hated.
Which evolved from...
Well, they evolved from
Left 4 Dead.
Well, that as well, but these are more asymmetrical, aren't they? It's like 1v4, which is basically what Evolve
but
was.
I mean, but Evolve was just like, let's take Left 4 Dead and make it one big monster instead of a bunch of little monsters.
But that's what
I'm
these
not
games
ready to
are,
give
though,
Evolve
so.
a lot of credit here.
But the Hunt isn't like that, by the way. The Hunt isn't
I thought it was.
No.
I thought it was 1v4.
So Call of Duty have just released a new mode, which everybody's going mad about, called DMZ, right? Where it's the Hunt, basically. So what it is, Stu, to explain it is...
Go on, clarify.
It's a mix between PUBG and playing with bots. So you've got, like... Imagine you're playing PUBG, but you've got a bunch of, like, zombies or whatever in there. And then you've got squads of, like, real people against you.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know the numbers with the Hunt Showdown, so...
I thought it was 1v4.
So it's like 4v, 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 4v4.
Ah,
but,
right, okay.
But in the mix of all that, you've got a bunch of NPCs to kill. Like just enemy fodder. And the idea is that you do those challenges, and then it's PvP. Fraser said it's no bots in Hunt. Yeah, it's PvPvE. That's what I'm explaining. So you've got like AI to fight. I don't know, the computer to fight. So random zombies, and then whatever they are, and then you've got other squads. And then when you do something, it gives visibility to the other team, and blah 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 blah. Like there's ways of finding out where the actual squads are, and then once you do an objective, I think it highlights to the other team where you are, and then you have to get out. So stuff like that. So I think, and then Call of Duty have just released DMZ, which I believe is very, very, very similar, and everybody's going absolutely mad for it. And I think people go mad for it because, like battle royales, they've been around for like 5 years, 6 years now, so they're getting stale. So people are looking for that next thing as well. So it's there's always like a new genre that comes out, and then the gold standard gets stamped.
So it's almost like a competitive Rust.
So sort of, but like more like it's squad based. Like you're with
So it's more
three
compact.
or whatever. Yeah, but
streamlined.
It's this another genre that comes out, with online multiplayer. Somebody perfects it, like Halo, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike. They perfect it, and then we move on, and then something else happens, and then you've got like League of Legends, which becomes like an absolute phenomenon, and then they perfect it, and then we move on, and then we do battle royales, and then Fortnite perfects it, and then we move on.
I'm guessing Dead by Daylight is more like Evolve then. Is that,
So
is that
Dead
better
by Daylight
comparison?
is a better comparison. Yeah, Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, Killer Clowns from Space, that upcoming game. I think that's like 5v3, so it's a different take on it. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, Dead by Daylight is definitely more like Evolve. Yeah.
Okay, I thought Hunt Showdown was similar as well. I was
No,
wrong.
No. But now
there
we
you
know.
go.
Now we know. But I
Now
haven't
we
actually
know.
played it. I know Fraser has just dropped your tagline.
Just play it.
Just
I know
play it.
exactly.
I just can't. Fraser, I don't know what it is. PC games just don't really do it for me, and it's a lot of effort for me to actually care about a PC game. I do love playing with Fraser, and I was like, it's like some of the best times I've had online. But it's a struggle for me to motivate myself to play a PC game. I really can't be bothered, and I don't really play that many games as it is on the console because I'm constantly playing
No.
snooker.
Snooker.
You talk about like there's nothing better, Duke, than having a team working together in snooker.
Right.
There's nothing better than being on a break. You know, when you're
getting a break of 80.
when you're on a
Ooh.
50. Like, what did I do the other day? 62, Stu. I did a 62.
Nice,
break.
that's good.
You know,
That's a
just
good break.
like when you're on that break, you're just like, oh yes.
When
Knock
they're
'em
going
quickly?
in.
Say again, Duke.
Did you knock him in? Did you knock him in quickly?
I do.
'Cause
Play
then it would be a
quite quick.
fast break.
I do play good. I did a 62 and a 48. Stu. You'd be impressed.
I think he had a point break.
I did have a point. break.
Ah!
But yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, Chinny. See, when you're in that groove and you just can't miss.
It's just great.
Do you know what I mean? Everything's just clicking.
Yeah, amazing.
I know what you mean. And you're not thinking about it either, are you? When you're doing that, it's not like
It's
you're not
all
even
flowing.
thinking.
It's all flowing.
Yeah, you're just doing it.
We're watching
Just playing
that.
it, just playing it.
We're watching that documentary on Netflix at the moment called Breakpoint, which is the
Oh yeah, the tennis
tennis
thing is
documentary.
That?
And I don't really follow tennis at all. But look, Tara has banned me from comparing it to snooker because like it's a solo.
Shut
a lot,
up already,
a
Chinny.
lot of the things that they say
Oh my god.
is like
Like
stuff that
snooker.
I can relate to because you're on your own. There's a lot of pressure. I'm not saying I'm as good as or any of those or like good at snooker even, but like
Go ahead,
I'm like
say
yeah,
it. You know you like.
you know, like it's like I get what that
I
feels
can really
like.
relate to this.
Yeah,
man.
I
This is
do,
like,
and
it's
it's
a lot
like
my life.
it's lonely as well. It's like a lonely thing because you're just out there on your own, and people say little things to you, and then it fucks with your head, and it's all
It's
pressure.
like on Everybody Wants Some. It is lonely on that mound, Jake.
Lonely. By the way, Chidi, and I'm sure you don't watch this, but you know the Masked Singer?
No, I don't watch
you-
that.
No, do you know who got revealed? Who was a singer this week? Who went out?
I'm guessing it's snooker related.
It is snooker
Is it
related.
Mark Selby,
Uh-oh.
No, Stephen Hendry.
Stephen
And you
Hendry.
know what? Stephen Hendry, and guess what else? He can actually really sing. He
Oh, can
can
he?
properly sing. Yeah, no one had a clue who it was.
Stephen
And
Hendry.
he was like, he sang My Old Man's a Dustman. It's just, if you've not seen it, you need to watch it on YouTube.
No,
It's just brilliant.
no.
But he had no accent. He'd done a really good job of disguising his Scottish accent, and he was just really good.
Stephen Hendry. Jeez.
Stephen Hendry. And he's like, they were like, why did you do it? And he's like, I love it. And the kids will love seeing me on it.
Yeah. Well, he's got a really good YouTube channel at the moment, Stephen Hendry. So I think he's probably trying to get on TV a bit more at the moment because, yeah, he's got a brilliant YouTube channel. So
Right.
yeah. So anyway, we gotta stop talking about.
It was
Stephen.
good. It was really, really good. Funny.
Cool.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
Games.
Oh, yeah, we haven't
Games.
actually
All
talked
right,
about
Stu,
any
it's your
video yet.
turn.
Go
Hit
on,
it.
I will talk about the one and only game I have
Well, let
played
me guess.
literally
Elden
all
Ring.
week. Elden Ring. Oh my god,
How did I
that
know?
game.
How did I know?
Do you know what? Here's the thing, though. Right? I
Here's the
hadn't
thing. The thing.
Here's the
here
thing,
it
people.
I
is.
Listen
hadn't
up, 'cause here comes the
realised
thing.
quite how big it is.
Mm.
And I just keep finding new areas, and I'm quite liking the way that there is no quest markers to follow. You've literally just got to figure that shit out. You're given very vague instructions on where to go
See,
in the general
again,
area.
this sounds like a nightmare to me. Like, he'll
It's
meet
not.
you near the river. Like, what the fuck?
No, it's not even that. You don't even get that much. It's just like
Oh boy.
meet them in this area of the world, right? Find them in this area
Okay, so
of the
go.
world.
So in Skyrim, it'd be like, you know, what in the Riften province.
Yeah. It'd just be that. Meet them there.
So you're supposed to wander around till you just bump into him?
Yes, but
Oh fuck me.
No,
this is
listen,
my worst
this is-
nightmare.
it isn't because
He needs to have a triangle floating over his head.
No, there
Yeah.
is none of that shit. I mean, you literally have to just try and find these people.
I mean, that's the thing. Okay, sorry. I will let you talk in a second. Here's the thing. I need some kind of, speaking of middle ground, right? I need some middle ground because I know it's ridiculous when it's like just ride toward the triangle on the map, but on the other hand, just wander around till you find them. Oh, go ahead.
Yes and no, right? And I'll tell you why it works
Let him
so
speak,
well.
Duke.
I
I'll
will,
tell
go
you.
ahead.
Jesus Christ.
You are automatically thinking it's a nightmare that you've got to try and find these
Just let him
people.
speak.
Sounds
Anyway,
like a nightmare.
people in the
It-
chat, Fraser Moore, GWJ, Hoss, James, Darren. Sorry, Stu, I talked over
See
you.
what you-
That's
Ian.
okay.
It's
It's
pretty
okay.
funny.
Anyway, here's the
Snooker's great, isn't it?
snooker is great.
Go
here's,
ahead,
the,
Stu.
here's the thing.
Here's
the
how.
reason
Here's why it works.
Go.
so well is because you just come across so much random shit while you're looking for them. Like, again, today I found another one of these weird glowy markers, and it turned into another little mini quest line, and you follow some ghostly dude to like somewhere to explore. And there's always something else around the corner, no matter where you go in the world. And you forget
gotcha.
about what you're doing. You obviously, I'm looking for this woman, and then I
Yeah.
forget all about it because so much other shit has happened while I've been looking for
So
her.
you're saying it's perfect if
Yeah.
you've got like ADHD?
No, not even that. It's just there's always something new to find or
saying,
new
that's
to
what I'm
do.
saying.
Yeah, honestly, it's so well crafted. I mean, I still haven't found the woman I'm looking for, but I've found a shit ton of other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a ton of other things to do, and another boss to fight, and you just constantly getting distracted. It's a
Yeah.
game that constantly distracts you to do other stuff.
Yeah.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why it works. So, and there's some weird shit like you'll just hear a disembodied voice saying something. I still haven't figured out where the hell they are.
Oh,
Like,
Stu.
No, it says something like go and find such and such a body is nobody found him yet, and you can't. Or hey, or one time I'm just walking through this area and this voice just went, "Hey, you there? Can you see me? Can you not see me? Come and look at me. Come to me." And I'm like, I can't figure out where they are, and I can hear the voice, but I can't see anyone anywhere. It's just weird.
Ah, my rectum's bleeding.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they're just
See you later.
random stuff. It's just.
That's crazy.
I haven't got enough superlatives to describe how good this game is. I really haven't. It's just, I mean, my character looks ridiculous. I've got this ridiculous armor now, and this
Yeah.
weird. I killed this like mini boss that had this weird, like what looked like a cooking pot on his head,
Like
and
Chinny
now
with
I'm
his bowl.
and now I'm wearing that, and it's got really good armor protection, and I'm walking around with a big,
Yeah.
massive cooking pot covering my entire head.
So it's practicality rather than style.
Yeah. There's if you kit yourself out with the best gear you've got, you're just gonna look ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you're never gonna look stylish in this game.
no.
So that's the thing. I just think it's great. I'm doing 2 swords. I can't be arsed with a shield. Who wants to counter shit when I can just hit him with another sword?
Oh, I love a counter.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
I love a
I mean, you can do that shit if you want, but I've got like a magic sword that does loads of damage, and that's it. It takes a long while to swing.
Yeah.
But then I've got like a katana that's really fast to swing with blood damage on it. So I'll sort of do a massive like swing with the magic one, then a couple of quick swipes with the other one. Yeah. Oh man, this game
It's got
is
ya.
so good.
It's got
I
ya.
just can't stop playing it. I'm like, I should play something else for the show this week, but
Can't be
why
arsed.
would I?
Yeah.
Why would I play something else other than this at the moment?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how good this game is.
You're trying.
I am. I just wish one of you two would play, and then you could give your verdict.
Yeah, well, I've just
Someday,
finished.
man.
I've just finished a big game, so I don't think I've got room
Yeah.
for another big game for a while. I need to get some smaller games
It
out there.
sucked me in, man, and it won't let go. I can't remember the last time I've been so engrossed in a game world.
Yeah, you
And I
don't.
think-
You don't get drawn in as often.
No, Oblivion's probably and The Witcher 3 are probably the last 2 games that I've been
Witcher
this,
3, yeah, Witcher 3.
yeah,
Yeah.
this engrossed in
Yeah,
the world.
probably.
And I think part of that's down to just the variety of everything. Like, there's no 2 enemies the same.
I've got it. I've got it, Stu. I've got it.
Go on.
I know why you can't get yourself off those games.
Go on.
Because,
Why? Why is it?
right, you are the
You're
type of
born.
person that you play a game and then you see the next big shiny thing, right?
That's true.
And you see
True.
the next
Yeah,
thing
pretty
shiny
much.
thing. Well,
True.
these games are like that, but you're doing that in the game.
It is. No, I think that's absolutely, especially this game, because
See,
that's
it's
what I was just
constantly
going to
throwing
say.
new things at you.
It's throwing new things, and also
And that's what The
every
Witcher did,
area-
and that's what Oblivion did.
every area you go to is different. Every enemy
Yeah.
is different. The enemy design is just completely different to every different area you're going. And also, there's always a castle in the distance you can see, and you're like, huh, I wonder what's in that. So you make your way to that. You know what I mean? And everything you can see, you can get to.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just it's better than than Skyrim, for instance, in so much as just the variety of everything. Like everything looks so brilliant in it. It's just awesome, absolutely awesome.
So, are you playing this solely on the Steam Deck?
Yeah, I'm playing a combination of handheld and on the TV.
Okay.
So I'm sort of just putting it in dock mode. It doesn't work as well in dock mode. Every now and again, it goes a bit like weird looking, where it goes a bit blurry and stuff. And on handheld, it's solid.
Solid.
Once you put it on the big screen, it still works fine. Do you know what I mean? I haven't had any major issues at all.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It's just not as smooth on the TV, but it's still fine to play. But
Fair enough.
it's just amazing. I tell you, and I know this is my rule, right? I never ever. I had like one of my rules is a game of the year.
Yeah.
Has to be the sort of game that came out that year.
Yep.
Yeah.
This year it might not be.
Well,
Ooh.
This year it might not be. I'm telling you now. Someone's asking, do you have a lot of input lag on the Steam Deck? No, not at all. I've got my daughter had an Xbox One S, and I've got her controller connected by Bluetooth, and it's like I can't remember what the make is now for the dock I've got it connected with, but there's no input lag at all. It's pretty smooth, 1-to-1. I've not noticed any issues at all, but God, this game is good. It's just so good.
You should talk about it more.
I know. I know I've talked about it way too much, but I can't see
Well,
myself
you're
playing
having fun
anything
with
else
it.
for a
You're
long
enjoying
time.
It. It's fine. You can talk about it.
I mean, Limgrave, this is the first area. Can I just mention Limgrave is it's so massive. And this is where I've got to find this woman, and there's like these like scarred lands which are all scorched and stuff, and like the water's poison, so even if you stand in the water you get killed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit, it's like not the best place to be at all. And very close to this opening area, there's a lake, and there's these rats and stuff. And if you kill them, you go into this little tomb, and then there's like a treasure chest. And when you open it, it transports you to the Scorchlands, which is a really difficult area. So if you do that really early on in the game, you are fucked.
Can you not go
Because you're
back?
just you're not coming back. You are gonna get killed and killed and killed. Do you know what I mean? This thing is brutal.
Why do you know that then? Did you do it?
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing. I just killed these rats, went in the tomb, opened the chest, and the next thing I know, I'm in this area of the game I'd never seen before. And there's maps. So you basically, there are map markers on the map without you being able to see what's on the map, if that makes sense. And if you go to them, they're like almost like I don't know how you describe it, like a tombstone, I guess, with writing on. And then when you click on the bottom of those, it will actually like open that map piece of the world for you, so you can actually see what's in it. And it doesn't show a lot, to be quite honest. It's pretty much fucking nothingness with lots of enemies that are really hard and difficult. But I managed to get myself out of there eventually, and I got back to where I needed to be. But it's a long way from where you start the game. But it's just so good, honestly. And I quite like. I know Duke would hates the idea of not knowing anything. And it does give you little pointers, hardly any, to be fair, but it does give you them. But it's that figuring shit out for yourself that works so well.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
It is. It is. When you figure some shit out, you're like, I still don't know how to craft stuff. No clue. I've got all these crafting materials, and I've literally no idea how I craft anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm just hitting shit with my sword, you know what I mean? And I'm doing all right. So it's like, well, it's not that big a deal, I guess. But there's so many systems, but you don't need to use all of them. They're just there if you want to. There's magic. I've barely used any magic at all, but some people make a character that's purely magic based. With magical staffs and do magic attacks.
Can you be a stealth archer? Because that's what people who
you
play
can
Skyrim
do.
wanna know.
You get a bow and arrow right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, like in
So that's-
Skyrim.
yeah. So that's the very
Sneaking
first.
around trying to get not to get killed by the bear.
Yeah, first thing you get. To be fair, arrows are very short supply,
Yeah.
so it's
well, fuck
difficult to
that
get
shit.
arrows. But you
Even
can buy
with
them.
the easy mod.
You can buy them
Is there a
on the,
mod
yeah,
for
even,
like super like a million arrows?
Probably.
there might be. There may be.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
what I
that
would
I'm
be in
aware
favor
of. Not that I'm aware of though. But you can do that. But I'll be honest, still close and personal combat's the way to go in this game. You just got to get in there and roll around a
You
lot.
play how you want to play. I'll play how I want to play.
You'll never play this game.
You don't know that?
I'm pretty sure you never will.
I played Subnautica eventually, didn't I?
You did. That is
All
true.
right then.
That is true. But I don't know. I've not got high hopes. Let's just
Well,
say that.
Hold your breath, starting now, and it'll happen. Maybe. You better get
Maybe.
your hopes up. I need to get that Simpsons clip.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you will. Who knows? We'll see. Well, anyway, Chinny, you should definitely play this.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's a yarn.
So, right, over talking to you, Chinny. Over to you, Chinny.
Well, you better get your hopes up.
I think Duke should
Beautiful.
go because he's got more games.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I got 17,000 games to talk
Good.
about. No, I don't. I should have mentioned this before. I've been playing the DMZ,
Aha.
the Modern Warfare 2
Yes.
PvPvE thing.
Okay.
Well, I haven't so much. It's not so much that I have been playing; it's that I played it. And I had no idea what the fuck I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
They kind of drop you in, and like, okay. So first of all, you're in a squad of 3. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're playing with other people, obviously that's going to be better.
Yes.
I was playing alone, and I could play team deathmatch just fine, right? So you don't have to be playing with people in most Call of Duty games. There was one person that I was with who knew exactly what he was doing, and he was using a headset. So he was like, "Just stay with me. We'll make this happen. Like, get over here. Like, don't fall apart. Don't fall back." It is definitely this kind of thing. As you know, one of the things with Left 4 Dead is that you had to stick together, right? If someone
Yeah.
went off on their
Yeah.
own, they were dead.
Okay.
And that's kind of what happens here. So I kind of went off on my own at one point, and I got downed, and I was like, "Please come rescue me," and they did, which was very nice.
Yeah.
But
cool.
anyway, it's hard to know what to do. It's a very big map, which is cool. But like, there was this. At one point, we were just running across the map, and we got some notification like the hostage is being held in this building, and there was some ping, and we were like, "Okay, now I guess we should run toward that building." So we ran toward that building, and there were people all around us, and we found the hostage, and they had a bomb strapped to him, so we had to defuse that, and we did. I mean, when I say we, I mean everybody else. The other 2 guys did the things. I assume they were guys. Maybe it was a gal or a non-binary person. Anyway, they were doing it while I was like just shooting enemies. And at one point I shot one of them, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm sorry," and they're like, "It's okay." And yeah. And we actually got the hostage extracted, and we won. It was like, yay. And it was like, you completed this, you completed that. And I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. And then I went back in, and I was on a team that nobody knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And I felt like the most senior person on the team. And I was like, let's go this way. And I was pinging buildings, like, come this way. And they weren't coming anywhere near where I was pinging, and they were just running all over. And I was just like, come on, y'all, we need to stick together. And I got downed, and then they didn't come to where I was, and I died.
Yeah.
And then I had gotten you level up your weapons, and so I had gotten a holographic scope, which was nice because I had been using iron sights in the first run through, and I hate iron sights. So I was like, okay, cool, I got a holographic scope, and there's like, you put a weapon in like your slots, and it's like insured weapon or whatever the fuck it is. And I was like, how does this work? Well, how it works is if you die when you're holding that, or maybe it's supposed to be you last a round, you get it. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
I just didn't have it anymore. So the next time I went in, it was like, all right, which gun do you want? And I'm like, I want the one with the holographic scope. And they're like, you lost that. And I'm like, what? So maybe I'm not doing something right, or whatever it is. I'm just like, okay, it's an insured weapon, right? Yeah, it was very frustrating. So I was like, I don't want to have to try to get a weapon each time, and then in the meantime use these other weapons that I don't like as much. And I don't know. The article I read last week said that it's trying to be Escape from Tarkov or whatever it is, right?
that's
Which is
right.
fine. I've never played that. I don't know. I think this is trying to be Insurgency Sandstorm, because that is a game that, I mean, it has PvP in it, but it's, the game mode I play is PvE. So you're fighting against, other terrorists, and you have all these objectives. You got to blow up a weapons cache. You got to, secure a post and all this other stuff. So I played some of that again after getting frustrated with this, and I uninstalled this. I went back to Insurgency Sandstorm. I forgot. It's so sluggish in terms of bringing the gun up to your face and then like pulling it down. And I'm like, that's the one thing about Call of Duty. It's like, and it's just a fast moving game. So yeah, I wanted to like this. I really went in like, I hope this is as good as that guy says. And I played a few rounds. I'm like, no, it's not. And this insured weapon thing, I don't get it. So I don't know. It's possible that I'll go back to it and reinstall it. But my first experience was,
by the way, Duke, I knew there was something I had to tell you. Adam.
Yeah, tell me now.
Adam, Millie's boyfriend, told me to tell you that Need for Speed Unbound is on sale on Steam at the moment.
Is it really?
It is. It's I'm
I
just
did
having a
not
look
see
now
that.
just to double check it. It's 50% off.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess it'll be about what, $35 or something there.
I don't know. Let's see. Need for Speed Unbound. Not in the US, it's not. Oh no, it is. It is 50% off. Yeah.
50% off. Don't know whether it's
so
enough
tempting.
to pull the trigger, but there you go.
Maybe. I don't know. That's a good deal.
It's a pretty good
But
deal.
I mean, again, it came out like a month ago. Imagine
I know,
what it'll
it's
be in
already.
another month.
Yeah.
Well, I doubt it'll be 50% off again in another month.
Why not? Maybe it'll
This
be
is a lunar
70%
sale. They've
off
got
in
a
another
lunar
month.
sale, haven't they? Something ridiculous on again at the moment.
Yeah, I guess. Or the rest
Only
of the
buy
Need for
it if
Speed
you're gonna
games on
play it straight
sale?
away.
Yeah, you
Well,
got
of
to play
course
it
I will.
straight away.
No, none of the other Need for Speed games are on sale during the lunar sale. If it's to do with the lunar sale. Oh, how long is it going to be on sale? That's what I don't
I
know.
know. You're tempted, I can tell.
Oh God, I'm so tempted.
But there you go. I thought I'd let you know anyway. I thought I'd give you some news.
I'm
Early
buying
news.
it.
Are you doing it?
I'm doing it
Oh
right now.
my-
I just clicked I agree to the terms.
Oh
Ah!
my god!
Oh my God! Thank you, Millie's boyfriend.
I know. Yeah, I'll let him know when I see him.
Well,
Later.
unfortunately, I got to start all over because I
Yeah,
had my
well-
character on the other one. But whatever.
Whatever.
Wow. Thank you.
Oh, there
Oh,
you
that's so good to know. Oh.
See, sometimes I come good.
Yay.
Who knew?
Thank
Who
you for
knew?
letting me know that, Stu and Millie's
That's
boyfriend.
okay. Chinny, do you want to tell us about the one and only game you played?
Well, I have been playing 2 games, but I'll start with
Is Marvel Snap one of them? Because if so, you're not allowed to talk about that shit.
No.
I mean, Marvel
Um,
Snap, who knows?
I
You
played
haven't been
more.
playing Marvel Snap?
I played more God of War.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I thought you'd finished it.
I
Yeah,
have.
thought you finished it.
So
But there's
confused.
more after you finish it.
Yes. Remember we had somebody
Okay.
write in last week saying
Yeah, saying there's
the
these
last
really
boss
difficult bosses.
of the God of War Ragnarok is harder than any fucking Elden Ring thing.
Yeah,
And I was
apparently.
like, where is this boss, motherfucker?
Right.
So when you finish the game, I won't spoil any story stuff, right? So, but you finish the game, you can play on, okay?
Okay.
And yeah, so you finish. You probably come across them, Stu. These like gravestones where you fight sort of boss fights. But
I
if you
have, but I haven't fought any of them. I didn't realize they were a thing, so I've probably seen them and just not realized what they
so
are.
if you do all of those, that unlocks the king, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, that might be the boss thing, right? And I'm like, this is pretty hard, but like I did it pretty quickly. I was like, was that it? Was that the thing? Like, was that the
Is
boss?
that it?
I
What's
was
going
like,
on
"Ah."
about?
I was like, it was tricky. It was tricky. Like, I definitely didn't do it first time. I had to like work at it.
It
but-
didn't take you like a day, though.
No, it took me like an hour, right? And I was like, right, I've done that. Okay. I was like, all right, I was floating around. And then eventually I was like, there must be something else. There must be something else. So I went back to this area where there's an area called like the Crucible, right? Where you do
Ooh,
these
are they doing
trials.
It's John Proctor, and it's a play about the Puritans. Oh no, wait.
Sure, yes, whatever you meant.
There's a
And so-
hilarious play joke there. Yeah.
So I went back to there, and you do like trials, and I was doing these trials, and I did them all, and they're pretty easy now because I'm sort of end game. And I noticed, there's another thing on the map. So I looked at it, and I was like, this is the boss. This is the boss, right? And it's
Right.
the Queen of the Valkyries, right?
Oh, God, that sounds hard.
boy.
And it's like Gina or something like that. I don't know what her name is. And I was like, this is it. This is the thing that's hard, because that was pretty hard. but I did it.
Right.
Yeah, I did it. You know, it took me about
Oh, you killed the Queen of the Valkyries too?
yeah. It took me about like 2.5 hours.
Wow, fucking hell. That's still a long time, isn't it?
Constantly like
Congratulations.
constantly just basically you are just constantly trying to learn. There's one move that she had, right, where she charges you and she does like a red attack, and a red attack you can't block. You can
That's
block
right,
a yellow
yeah.
one, but if you block a yellow one, it kind of stuns you. But if you parry a yellow attack, it stuns them. So there's a kind
Yeah.
of cost, reward sort of
Benefit
thing.
analysis, yeah.
Yes. So
Sure.
those ones, but she did this red attack what you can't block, and like she goes right towards you and she goes to sort of like punch her, and I was like, I can't. If I could just get round that move, if I could just master getting round that move, I can do it. And I realised that if I strafe to the right rather than the left every time she does it, she doesn't hit me. So if I see it,
Right.
I have to go right. And then there's another move where she does this like sort of kick down, but if I strafe backwards, she gets me every time. But if I strafe left or right, so it's constantly like, okay, this move I have to go left, this move I have to go right. If she does this, I can never get too far away from her because sometimes she does this charge thing and just like takes half your health off. Then you have to do this. I usually can get a few licks in if she does this. If she does that, that's an easy thing. I just shoot an arrow. So it's like, if she does this, it's this. If she does this, it's this. If she does this, it's this. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It wasn't easy.
Right.
But
You
yeah.
eventually learn her patterns and you got her.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
That's the kind of satisfaction you're like, yes, I did it.
You're in full training mode for Elden Ring at this point.
Yeah, you're ready now.
Because that is literally what that is.
Yeah.
That is Elden Ring right there.
Dan Sim said,
everything you fight.
did you get the platinum? No, I didn't get the platinum. I didn't do the artifacts, which is like the poems.
Well, now it's time to start that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really close to like getting.
It's just a game that keeps on giving.
I got all the flowers. I got all the berserkers. I got all the shards. I got all the. I haven't got all the chests, but I did all the crucible. So I'm so close to like platinum in it. I might as well, I suppose. But I sort of just got burnt out, and I was like, right, I need to. After that boss fight, I was like, right, I need to put this down, man, because I've been fighting this.
Yeah, that is a lot of stuff. 2.5 hours is a lot.
Yeah, and that game, I tell you what, walking around that game when the game's finished, like around the maps and stuff, is really shit. Like, it's really annoying to walk around.
Because the enemies have all respawned, or
there's a bit of that, but like it's just cumbersome. It's just really.
Sure.
It's not like an open world. It's like a ledge, and then you go off that ledge, and then you do this, and then there's one gate in like Helheim which you couldn't even go through. You have to do the puzzle again. I was like, fucking hell, like there's no good way. And it was just like full of like, fucking hell, I've got to climb up here and I've got to do this.
Obstacles.
Obstacles everywhere. And it's just constant. When you're playing the game with the story and you've got the dialogue, that's okay. But when you're playing the game and you've got no dialogue, everybody's just silent. It's
weird.
It's
That is a bit
weird.
weird.
It's annoying. Like no one's talking to each other. It's just boring. So I really hate wandering around in that game when it's finished. But I love a boss fight in God of War. I just love it. I'm just like, yes, give me another boss fight. So
honestly, you need to play.
You are banned from talking about Elden Ring.
You fucking gotta play it though, because what you're talking about is what you would love about it.
You've
been
banned.
It's that all the time. I mean, it's that all the time.
Banned.
All the time.
There's a great
just
line
wish
from
you'd have a
30
go.
Rock
I
I
just
should
wish you
use
would
right
play it.
there. I can't find it. You have been told to be quiet.
I know, but
yeah.
it's that
All
all
right,
the time.
so anything else to say about Ragnarok?
No.
Okay, then it's back to me. Yeah, and the origin of this sound clip.
What else did you want to discuss?
That one. That's right, people. I've gone back to Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, you mentioned you were gonna do this.
Yeah, and this dovetails with Chinny's comment about 10-year rule.
It's in the rule.
Yeah, if the game came out 10 years ago, then you can play it again. The twist is that I've played this a bunch since it came out. Like, I've probably played the whole main storyline through like 5 times at least. So it's not as though anything's surprising to me now. But the experience is very interesting because, you know, I've played Fallout 4 a bunch since I played this one. And so it's stepping back
To the old school.
technologically.
Yeah.
Right. And the graphics, I don't mind so much the different graphics because, you know, look, it's a wasteland. It's not going to look pretty, is it? Like, you know, the main difference between Fallout 4 and this in terms of that feeling is that although Fallout 4 is a wasteland as well, it's a busy wasteland. There's a lot of stuff going on in it. And in this game, it's just a wasteland. Like when you're
Yeah.
traveling from one place to another, you might see some rad scorpions or whatever, you know what I mean? But mostly it's just nothing. So some areas are pretty dense. You know, the Strip has a whole bunch of stuff going on it. But, you know, when you're going from Prim to Nipton, like there's nothing. There's one gas station with some rad scorpions at it. So it's just, you know, it's boring. That's the thing about it. It's like the first part of the game is pretty goddamn boring. That said, the biggest frustration is the fact that the menu systems, you know, there's no shortcuts for the Pip-Boy really. I mean, there kind of are, but you know, the
Yeah.
Fallout 4 has really streamlined it for the keyboard and mouse. And I suspect these were made for, well, I mean, the original Fallout games were made for the PC. They weren't even console games, but whatever. Fallout 3, New Vegas, these were console games, right? They were designed to be played on the console. And so
Correct.
the PC games are, you know, they're ports, which is fine. But Fallout 4 felt much more holistically done on the mouse and keyboard.
Playable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not unplayable. It's just that it's not as user friendly for how my hands work on the mouse and keyboard. So whatever. It is what it is. One other thing that's different about Fallout 4 is that anytime you come across anybody in Fallout 4, if they're like, hey, go get me this. There's one dude in the Diamond City who's like, go get me paint from the paint, you know, the hardware store or whatever. That's a quest, right?
Yeah.
But in New Vegas, it's like, well, you'll do 6 things for people in a town and none of them are actually quests. So you have to just remember that they want you to do it. You know what I mean? And that's just, it's not a big deal, but it's just kind of frustrating. It's like, what the heck? That said, it's still a great game. The stories are interesting in this. They're definitely more interesting than the stories in Fallout 4, although I love Fallout 4. It's just, I don't know. It was the best they could do at the time. I just think the, you know, technology's moved on, and I've just gotten spoiled by Fallout 4. So, yeah.
Yeah.
New
Do you think
Vegas,
this is,
awesome
do you think
game.
this is better than 3?
I do. I think there's more variety in this game. I think the stories are better in this game. I think 3, obviously, I mean, it's hard to compare them, but, you know, and sorry, there's 2 things. 1, 3 revolutionized Oblivion had revolutionized role-playing games, but 3 was, you know, the next step in that process, right?
Yeah.
And 3 was amazing in that sense. This game came out so quickly after 3 that it's clearly they just took 3 and said, okay, we'll use the same engine, we'll use the same everything. We will add in different ammo types, and you have to fix your weapons, which didn't happen in 3. And then, you know, just they focused on the story. So I think the fact that
I thought you could fix your weapons in 3.
I don't think you had to, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, but the factions was the big feature, wasn't it? I remember.
The factions was the big feature, and again, like, you know, the world is just, I think, more interesting in New Vegas than it is in 3. Not that 3's not interesting. It's just that the main thing was like, you know, Brotherhood of Steel, Enclave sucks. Well, Enclave sucks. Brotherhood of Steel is the man.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, forget all those. I mean, they exist, but they're very far in the background. And it's about, you know, the NCR and Kaisar's Legion.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's still a great game.
Yeah, I played this one way after it came out, like about 5-6 years after it came out. So like, I enjoyed it, but 3 was a moment for me. You know what I mean? I played 3 when it came out, and I was like blown away.
Yeah.
Even with 4, like I played 4. 4 I've got really strong memories of because it was the same year that I moved into this house. So I remember playing it and not having like a settee and like, not a settee, but like things just wasn't decorated, and I was sitting on the floor playing it and stuff. And yeah, I've got a good memory of it, but I definitely didn't. It definitely didn't blow me away like 3 did. I never played a game like Fallout 3 before. It was like just so unique.
You never played Oblivion?
Never played Oblivion. So it was just so strange to me to play a game like that, but really good as well and exciting. But
Yeah.
4 was okay. I mean, I just have no desire to play it again. Not even in.
See,
10
that's the
years' time.
thing. The more I play New Vegas, the more I want to play 4 again. 'cause it's like-
Amazingly, Fallout 4 is 10 years old in 2 years' time, which is
Oh.
fucking mad.
but I've played that like at least 7 times through. I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm thinking like, it might be time to play Fallout 3 again,
Okay.
and that was 2008.
You go for it.
So like that's already like 5 years old. So you're just like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
So like 5 years old from 10 years away. I mean, like 10. You
Right.
know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right, so that's New Vegas. And then I got one
Can
more
I just
game
say,
to talk about.
by the way, I did play another game. I'd forgotten.
Oh my God, talk about
I
it
know.
now.
I know.
Oh my God.
I did. I can't say a lot about it because it didn't work very
Uh-oh.
well. I
So you
played.
can really play it.
I attempted to play a bit more Half-Life 2 in VR.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But,
Did you get your speedboat on?
well, I'm not up to that bit yet.
Ah.
But the problem I had is, right, I've had to buy a Switch for my Ethernet cables because what I
Nintendo
hadn't-
I
Switch?
thought you meant a Nintendo.
Half-Life
Switch.
is on
No,
Nintendo
I've got one of
Switch?
those already. I bought an Eero after Christmas, right? Because
Okay.
the fucking router you get with Virgin is shit.
Yeah.
So I got an Eero and I set it all up, and then I put obviously I was putting Ethernet cables from the router still into stuff. What I
Right.
didn't realize is that once you route your main stuff through the Eero, although you'll get the internet from the router, it won't give you as good as, I don't know how to explain it. So, for instance, even though I had the Ethernet cable from my original Virgin router to the Virgin box, it wouldn't do catch-up TV or anything.
Oh, I gotcha.
So I ended up in the beginning
Interesting.
swapping the cables over from the Virgin box to my PC and back and forth,
I gotcha.
which
I
was a bit of
gotcha.
a pain. So I got a
Sure.
switch to do it. So like an electric, like a plugged-in one, so it's a good one.
Right,
Should be
right.
5 gigabits and all this stuff. But
Mm,
for whatever reason, it still doesn't work quite as well with VR. So it's
right.
every now and again, the whole thing freezes, which makes you
Right.
feel so fucking sick. You feel like you're gonna just throw up instantly.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the picture on the VR screen just like freezes, when you move your head, it just moves completely.
I thought you meant just playing VR
Right.
makes you sick. Like, 'cause
No,
fucking-
I'm fine with VR most of the time. I'm
no, I mean,
very
like,
rarely.
just generally like playing that
Just
platform.
the
No, I have no issues. But
lack
it does
of
make
games
some
just makes
people.
me so sick.
Yeah.
To my stomach. I'm
Yeah.
just like, ugh.
So I've come to the so I was even though I did get a bit further in the game and I was at the bit with the helicopters trying to shoot you and everything.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I think I've just given up on it because I just think I can't. The
It's
constant.
not ready. It's not ready.
No, it's just not working as well as it should. It's my internet. My internet's just not good enough, without it. I think if the internet was plugged straight into the PC, I'd be fine.
What would you
but
do, Stu, if they said, "All right, PSVR 2, Half-Life Alex compatible"?
No, I wouldn't be bothered. I've played Half-Life Alex, so I'm happy that I've finished that game. I have
And-
no desire. I
and
mean, I played some of the
Half-Life
mods.
2 mod compatible.
No, again, I mean, I played Half-Life 2 that many times. This would have been nice to play through in VR, but I'm not going to lose any sleep in the fact that I haven't finished it in VR because I
No.
must have finished it 5 times already, just in normal 2D version.
Yeah, and 2D is good enough because no one cares.
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but it's frustrating though because I would have loved to have played the whole game in VR because it is cool. When it works, it looks brilliant and it just flows and it's so cool to play. But when it doesn't, not so much. Not so much. I'll pass back to Jude, but I've just got to nip out for 2 seconds because I've forgotten to take my night pill, so I just need to go and take my pill.
Okay.
I'll be back. I won't be
Working on
long. I won't be
my
more
night
than
pills.
30
Alright,
seconds.
Take your Viagra, go on.
I am doing. Vaha.
Yeah.
What
so
you got? What you
I've-
got?
Right. So I've been playing Electrician Simulator. Hey. I talked about this a little bit last week,
Yes.
but I've been really in love with it this week.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been just crazy into it. Sorry, I'm trying to sort of multitask, which is wrong, but I got to do it. Okay, so, right. This game is the shit. It's so well done. It's exactly what I wanted. It's fluid. It's fun. It's, yeah. okay, so I said last time that one of the ways in which it's really cool is that you fix devices,
Yeah.
right? And so you're
Like
fixing
light switches and whatever.
well, it is light switch. There's really two parts to it. There is the workbench, which is where you fix. Well, there's out in the field. You go to jobs and you put in lights and you fix switches and you tell someone, here's why your your bathroom light's not working or whatever. And then there's also your workbench, which is where you fix people's game controllers and their hair dryers and stuff like that. And the game Assemble with Care is really satisfying. Like I can't describe how satisfying it is to fix someone's toy. There's this robot toy that you fix at one point and it's working. When you finally test it and it's like, it works. It's like, yes, I ought to be learning how to fix actual things, really. Like, that would probably bring me even more joy. But in the meantime, this is bringing me a lot of joy. And yeah, it's so satisfying. So that's the best part of this game is like fixing a bunch of little doodads and gadgets and stuff. And, a lot of it is like disassembling it and then like checking each part to see if that part is good or not. When you get to circuit boards, you can, so within the circuit board, you can test all the chips and stuff. And if one of them's bad, you can choose whether to just replace the whole circuit board or fix just that part of the circuit board. And again, it's extra satisfying to just take off one diode and you have to use the soldering iron to take it out and all this, or replace the whole, it's satisfying to fix just part of it because then you have less waste. And I know it's ridiculous because it's all virtual, but still, it's
still. Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Duke? What are the advantages of only replacing one part rather than?
You save money.
Okay.
And so you get more if the job pays $200, which is pretty weird. So when you're fixing someone's hairdryer and they give you $200, like what? That doesn't make any sense. But still,
and buy a new one.
Game economies, right? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so yeah, but it's so if it costs $200, if the job pays $200 and you spend $100 to replace the circuit board or whatever it is, then you have $100 profit. But if you only replace part of the circuit board, then you only pay $50, so you have $150 profit. So now, ultimately, I'm not too worried about the money. It really is the virtual lack of waste that I'm into, but whatever. Wow. At certain points, you get these tiny circuit boards, and like you have to solder tiny little specks on there, and it gets really tough because you can zoom in, but you can only zoom in so much. So that was pretty crazy. Yeah. Now, so I went through all of the repairing of objects missions, and I burned through those as fast as I could because when they kept coming up, I was like, I'll just do that. And in the meantime, there were the missions that were like, hey, come put lights in my house or whatever it is. At one point, someone was like, I want a UV bulb in my bathroom. It's supposed to be rejuvenating or something. So I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So I go to the laptop to pull up the shop and I can buy a UV bulb. They don't have them in the shop. And I'm like, what? And it was like, they have a checklist before you go to the job site. And it's like, get the things you need. And it was checked. I had everything I needed. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I guess the UV bulb will be waiting for me at the job site. No. One of the items on the to-do list when you get to the job site is find the UV bulb. And I was like, what? So you got to go all around the house and it becomes LA Noire all of a sudden. You're like turning stuff over, opening drawers and shit. And it's like, what is this? And eventually it was in the dude's like bedside drawer or something. I'm like, okay, why are you keeping the bulb here? Why did I have to do, why the game developers have to be like, find the bulb? Now, that happened again later on. And I actually had to look it up on YouTube because I was like, fuck this shit. But it was kind of an interesting reason it happened. One of the missions you get later on is this creepy old house. And the people are like, we just moved in here. Something's not right about this house. We need you to go in there and pull out all the old electrical stuff and open the windows. And I was like, okay, whatever. I can do that. And so I go in and I'm pulling out all the old, outlets and switches and electrical boxes and all this stuff and opening the windows. And it's great. And then I'm like, and I had like finished half of the to-do list. And I'm like, okay, I guess there's more stuff downstairs. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Going in the basement. And then I heard, and I was like, what? And I looked back, the door slammed shut. And I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get murdered. It was crazy. And I go up to the door again and it goes, needs key. And I'm like, get me out of here.
Jeez.
So I'm like, what?
So it just suddenly turned into a horror game.
Well, it's not though. It's just, you had to find the key.
Yeah, but why did the door lock?
Exactly. It's locked for the same reason as one of the missions I'm going to talk about later, where the girl's father turns into a snowman.
What?
I know, it's
Okay.
crazy. They're having some fun with this game, which is nice. Anyway, so the point is, you have to look around in the basement for the key to this house, or for the basement door. And it was so hard to find. I was like, I'm not looking this up on YouTube. I'm going to find this goddamn key. I don't know why. It was one of those things that, like, your pride gets all sucked up in it. And I was like, I'm going to find this goddamn key. Well, I didn't find the key, but I did find, so I found a screwdriver. Now, during the course of the game, you start out with a slow screwdriver, which unscrews the screws very slowly. And then you can upgrade when you get enough money to a medium screwdriver, and then you can get a fast screwdriver. Well, the screwdriver I found in the basement was a bone screwdriver.
Nice.
It was made out of a bone.
Nice.
And it was
Time
also
to
fast.
leave
so I was
that
like,
house.
Yeah, that house sounds well
no way, man.
creepy.
What other cool tools
Was
might
it
I
made out
find
of
made
a
out
human
bones?
finger?
It looks like a human, like, ulna or something. It's this bone. So
Brilliant.
now when I'm undoing screws, I'm like, aha,
You're
using
going
this
to use the
person's
bone driver.
Why not? It's awesome. But the key was like on a shelf and it blended into the shelf surface. I went through that basement like 4 times and I couldn't fucking find it. I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. Why am I not looking this up on YouTube? And I did, and it was like, oh, there it is.
Yep.
So
I'm liking the sound of this game. Who knew?
it's
Like
so well
Paranormal
done.
Activity.
Well, that's the
crossing,
thing. That's a very small
wiring
part of it.
shit
But
up.
right, but I'll tell you this other thing. There's this guy who goes, he sends me an email that says, I need you to take all the lights out. And it's like, take all the lights out of my house. Like, just remove them all. And like, that's the job, is to just remove the lights.
Why?
Because
So
and-
Hey,
right,
you don't
exactly. I'm like,
question him.
Okay,
It's just his
exactly.
house.
I'm getting
Just
paid.
getting
don't
paid.
ask
I'm getting
why.
paid. Who gives a shit?
But when I get up to his bedroom, there's a coffin.
What?
Yeah.
Instead of a bed, there's a coffin.
So
I
he's
was like,
saying he's a
okay,
vampire in the game.
I guess.
I love it.
don't know. So it was great. That was fun.
They're having
I
fun
love
with
that.
it. It's a
They're
bloody
having fun with it.
electrician
I do
simulator.
like that.
What
I
do you
mean,
want
I
him to
played the
do?
demo for this, but I've never
Yeah.
gone beyond
Yeah,
that.
I'm surprised at how much I'm enjoying it, to be honest, because
Wow.
I played other simulator
knew?
games. They're cute, right? Whatever. For some reason, I think the fact that it's all about being precise and connecting the wires right, and you can put switches anywhere you want. You can put plugs anywhere you want, right? As long as the devices can, there's a lamp in the corner. Okay, you have to have the plug kind of near the lamp. You could put it high on the wall and make it completely illogical. You could have switches, underneath the person's bed if you wanted to. That's where they turn their lights on. It doesn't matter, right? As long as you hook them up.
What you should have done, Duke, when you went to the vampire's house, was install UV lights in all the light fittings.
Yeah,
That would
there
have
you
been
go.
way more fun.
Yeah, but
Leave
the
them all
point is
switched
that
on when you left.
there's some kind of weird satisfaction from putting the lights up in an array so that it's orderly
Yeah.
according to a grid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In order to finish the game, you don't have to do that. You just put
No.
3 lights up, and it's just like whatever. You put them 1, 2, 3, and it doesn't matter. But I want to make it look nice.
But
I
that's
wanna
what you were saying
arrange my
about
house.
satisfactory, wasn't it? Like, it was like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
exactly.
It's like you
Right,
don't have to make
right.
it look nice, but that game allows you to do that. Therefore,
Yeah.
you do that.
Now, there is one really bad thing about this game.
Oh no!
And I have told the developer that there's 3
you
requests.
told
I
him
would like. It should-
personally. You rang him up.
Well, no. I left a comment on the discussion about these other 3 things because someone else had left this big problem in a separate discussion. I just said, yes, me too. Anyway, it needs a quick save. Most games have F5 quick save. This could really use a quick save, but it doesn't. You have to go and click save, pause it, save, choose the file, all that stuff. Forget it. I need a quick save. Hit F5. It needs a 1-button push for flashlight. You have to pull up a radial menu and then choose it from that. And it's like, that's like 3 steps. Come on,
yeah,
man.
that would
I'm a
make
busy
it easier,
guy.
wouldn't it?
And there's something else, but I
F
can't,
the
I can't remember what
flashlight
it
would
is.
have been very easy.
Here's the big problem. Okay, so I cleared out. I got the key. I got out of the demon house, right?
Yeah.
And then I finished the job of removing all the broken stuff in it and opening the windows. And then I finished the job. I go home, and then there's an email waiting when I get back, and it goes, "Hey, thank you for clearing out our house. We've moved in a little bit, but we need lights. We need, power. Please come and wire our house." And I'm like, okay, cool, I can do that. And it's nice because they do have it so it's decorated, and like there's people living there now, and there's like books on the shelves, and like they've cleared out the rotted furniture and they put in nice new furniture.
Yeah.
And wiring a house is a big job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
whole house.
before you Yeah, when you head out to the job, it's like recommended, 100 feet of cable or whatever it is. I was like, okay, I got 100 feet of
So
cable.
can I ask a question? Do you have to channel out everywhere? Like where the sockets are going, and get a plasterer in to plaster over it when you've done?
No. You just click and it just puts the electrical box in, and then you click again and you put the switch on top of it. So you don't have to bother.
What about
with
the
plastic.
wires? Where are you running all the wires?
They just sort of appear, and then you can click a button and they disappear.
Wow,
It's not
that is
realistic
not
in
like
that
really
sense.
wiring
It's a
a
video
house.
You're right.
game.
You should complain
I'm
to the
just asking.
developers that. Well, let me ask
Jeez.
you this, Stuart. When you
Yeah.
play Power Wash Simulator, does it run out of water at some point? Because if
Well,
not,
it's
that's not very
attached to a hose
realistic.
pipe. Where do you even get
Yeah,
these
but hose
water
pipes
from?
aren't infinite,
The
are
more
they?
the more
Well, they
unrealistic
are.
thing about Power Wash Simulator is like, where does the dirt go?
Yeah, where does the
Because
dirt go?
Because that
Yeah,
shit's
where does
got to
the
go
dirt go?
somewhere.
Yeah, I've power washed
That's
in real life.
true.
You just end up covered in it. You're the
Yeah.
dirt magnet.
anybody fucking gives a shit.
Anyway, here's the thing I was going to say about this game. I generally love it. The biggest flaw is this. If you're going to play this, buy yourself 1,000,000 miles of cable. Because when I went back to that demon house and I started, starting from scratch and wiring a whole house, like even as simplified as it is, you don't need plasters and whatnot, but you still have to be like, okay, the cable's going to go from the fuse box over here into this switch, and then it'll go over there. And then you have to wire the switch to the lights and then to the other light in the circuit like that. If those two lights turn on with the same switch, okay, fine. And then the power goes over here, and then, it's a lot of work. So I got done with the whole upstairs, and I was like, all right, cool, time to start on the downstairs. And I had like 3 feet of cable left. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, maybe I can make it work. And I didn't get very far at all. I barely got into the basement. My cable
Oh
ran out.
no.
Right. And I was like, well, now what? And the answer is, now you're fucked.
Well, you can't just go buy more cable.
You can't go buy more. You have
That's
to fail the
weird.
mission and try it
Oh
again.
my god.
It's so stupid.
No, right. This is what would happen in real life, right?
I know what would happen in real
Some
life.
dude's
Stu.
wiring your house, and he go,
Yes.
"Oh fucking hell, I haven't got enough. I'll just have to nip berries. I'll be back in 15 minutes. I'm just going to get some more
Exactly.
fucking cable from a hardware
Exactly.
store. Job done."
Yes, I agree.
And then
No
3
doubt.
weeks
Sorry,
later,
I-
it'll be back.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, 3 weeks later, it might appear if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And
So
he'll
that was
charge you
very
another
frustrating.
£100 for doing that.
Yeah. To have to start all over. But I learned my lesson, and I just filled my goddamn inventory with like all the cables. So
Yeah.
I went back in there. I'm like, I ain't finishing this without enough cable. Goddamn it.
More cable than you could ever need.
Oh man, I felt like drawing shit on the ceiling in cable because I had so much of it.
So
I'm
much
like,
cable.
I'm not running out this time, goddamn it. So that's the one caveat. I think I'm close to being done with this game because I've got like 3 missions left. But here's the thing. They had a holiday update apparently. So when you go to the workbench, there's like little presents and stuff nearby. Now there's nothing in them. You can't open them. You just pick them up and move them around. But still, it's a neat little holiday touch. And there's a mission. You get an email from this girl and she goes, "I think my dad's a snowman." It's like, "What?" She goes, "My dad was building a snowman, and then there was an electrical storm, and now my dad's gone, but there's a snowman that looks a lot like my dad. Please put him in the refrigerator." You're just
What?
like, what are you talking about? But that's the mission. So it's like, okay, I'll go put your dad in
So
the
you literally have to
refrigerator,
just
I guess.
pick up the snowman and put it in a refrigerator.
If only it were that simple, Stu.
So how the hell
Because-
does this even work?
The fridge
Well,
doesn't
first of all,
work.
you gotta-
The fridge doesn't work.
You got to take the shelves out, because
Right.
otherwise the snowman won't fit.
Yeah.
And the refrigerator's not plugged into anything. There's no outlets nearby.
Oh my
But
god.
it's when you were preparing to go, it said recommended 20 extension cords.
Yeah.
So
What?
the frustrating part is when you put an extension cord down in this game, it becomes like a piece of furniture. You can't you can move it again afterwards, but not very easily. So you have to be careful where you're putting these extension cords. And there's only one outlet in the whole house that works.
That's brilliant.
It's crazy. So the first step
It's
is
so
figuring
funny
out
how
which
they would
outlet-
come up with a mission like that. Like,
Right.
oh, what mission
right.
should we do towards the end of the game? Oh, I've got this idea about this dude who gets turned into a snowman.
Yeah, man.
And
And
then
to
we
be
have
fair,
to get him in the
Putting
fridge.
him in a fridge wouldn't do much because fridges aren't that cold.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? The fridge is in a location where there's no outlet, so
Well,
you've
that's
got to
the
get
thing. They got to make it
electric
interesting.
there.
Right. They got to make it interesting. So it's like, they can't just
Wow.
make it like put in 5 lights, put in 10 lights, put in 12 lights. Instead, it's got to be like, okay, here's some challenge for you. And it's pretty creative in that sense.
Did you get the snowman dad in the fridge all right?
Well, here's the other thing. So yes, I did, but there's a glitch in whereby you have to put them in just right. And a lot of people on the forums were like, it's impossible to put this snowman in the goddamn fridge. So the developer was on there going, okay, try changing your graphics settings because that may have something to do with it. We're working on a patch. In the meantime, try fixing the integrity of the files on Steam. And I fiddled with the graphics settings. I put it on the lowest settings. It didn't make any difference. I quit out and I did a, verify integrity of the cache, and that fixed it. So I was like, man, that was frustrating.
So did you have to do the whole mission again?
Well, no, I didn't because I saved it during the mission there.
Oh,
so I was able to start it back up and then try again with putting the goddamn snowman in the fridge. And I finally put the snowman in the refrigerator. So, Ginny, I know you're very proud of the fact you killed the Queen of the Valkyries after 2.5 hours. I got a snowman into the fridge after 5 minutes.
That does sound a lot more difficult.
It's about it's about equal. I'm not saying I'm better at
So was the daughter happy with the job? Did she give you good payment?
Yeah, she paid me. Yeah. You don't really get, and that's one thing I wish you would get is like, you don't really get anything from the customers. It's just like at the end of the mission, they show you the original message again. And then they're like, you check off all the things you did or didn't do. And then
so it doesn't go, thanks for doing that. You did a really good job. My frozen dad's in the fridge now. Thank you.
I would like to get something like that from customers, but whatever. The real joy is fixing things. And like, I burned through all the things where you're fixing things, the actual objects. I can totally see myself doing all of them again when I finish the game because it's so satisfying. So, Electrician Simulator, man. If this came, when did this come out? Was it last year? If so, maybe it's my game of the year from last year.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Is that everyone done?
No,
that's all my games done.
Oh, you got another game, Chinny.
Yeah.
What?
You said you'd only played one game.
I did say I got another game.
Make up your mind.
Oh, okay.
Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah, that game.
Who wants to talk about simulator games? That's
Oh
boring.
my god,
No,
this game just tell you what.
Is it in a whole other level? Is it?
I'm just addicted to it.
We know.
Have you heard about the DLC?
I have. It's in there. Put it in the news.
So there's some news come out of the new DLC, and it's Lara Croft's
early news.
Lara Croft's mansion is going to get added to the
game
world, and it's like.
And we've talked about playing this together as a team.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my god,
is it inside and out?
Inside and outside.
My god, that's
it's one hell of a job. And I'm like, man, because there's a chap at work called Tom, and Tom doesn't play many video games, right? Yeah. But I got him addicted to Prison Architect because he's kind of like one of these guys that likes that kind of stuff. And I was like, I told him about Prison Architect, got addicted to it. And then like I told him about Cities Skylines and got addicted to it. So he likes those kind of games. And I showed him Power Wash Simulator because we got an Xbox in the office, and I said, "Oh, what about this one?" And he was like, "That's so dumb." And then like a week later, he's like, "I'm halfway through."
I fucking love this game.
And then like the other day, he says, "Yeah, I finished it." I'm like, "Oh my god, you finished it!"
Wow.
And then I showed him this DLC, and he was like, "Oh, that's." And we were driving, we were in the van like the other day, and we saw these forklift trucks drive past on the motorway, and they were dirty, and we were both like, "Oh, you could just get a power wash on those," So yeah, we're
awesome.
we're in. But we've started the game again on the work Xbox.
Wow.
So,
okay.
So we just love it. So yeah, I'm like, I need to crack on, and I said, "Oh, I'm on this level," and he's like, "You're way behind. You've got loads to do." And I was like, "God, I need to get a move on.
Get a wriggle on, man. You don't even fucking taking this game seriously."
Yeah. So I'm actually playing it right now just to catch up.
Catching up.
The one they're on now is a big Ferris wheel, and you think, "Oh, Ferris wheel, that's not too hard." But there's loads of like
nooks and crannies.
Nooks and crannies, and like the center's all filthy and just. Yeah, it's tricky. So I've been on this one for like, I don't know. I dread to think how long I'll play this game, but it's very addictive. And yeah, I love it. So the fact that there's DLC coming out for it, and it's free, and it's coming out on the 31st of January.
FREE free.
So I think we're gonna make a video where we're gonna.
Yeah, we should definitely have a go at this together.
We're all gonna play it together.
It's gonna take fucking forever. Yeah. Ever. And ever.
I thought we should record a whole show while doing it, but no, that's too much. That's too much.
Right, okay.
Hey, who knows what these people would be willing to listen to?
Who knows?
All right, let's talk about the news.
Putting news first.
I'll
First
leave
bit of
my,
news is about
game
Rocket
on.
League and the bots. The problems that we're having with bots in
What just
Rocket
happened?
League.
Welcome out.
What?
No.
Uh-oh.
What
We can hear you,
happened?
Stu.
Why can't I hear
We can hear
anyone
you
anymore?
if you can hear us. Uh-oh. Stu's in his own dimension now.
Hello.
He fucked up his little headphones.
What? I have no idea what happened then. My
Can you hear
volume on my
us?
headphone. Yeah, it just went
Say
to zero.
63 if you can hear me.
Zero. Went to
No, I
zero on
said
my headphones.
63.
Yeah, 63.
Okay, thank you.
That was weird. My
Not lying.
headphone volume just
Well,
went to
let's
zero.
Move on.
You have crap headphones. We got it. All right.
I've got
first
good headphones.
First news is about Rocket League. Rocket
It
League
is?
devs say they're cracking down on bots. Yeah, it is. I put it in the show notes. Oh wait, I meant to.
Okay.
This is from Polygon. I think when everyone gets all hyped about the future of self-driving cars, they didn't have Rocket League bots in mind. Over the past several weeks, the game has seen an uptick in accounts that use bots to cheat in online matches. On Thursday, developer Psyonix responded to the rising controversy and said that the team has taken action against a number of accounts using bots in matches and introduced enhanced reporting features. Well, it's nice to see something made them finally do something about reporting features and make them more enhanced. You can call people the N-word all day and bash them for being gay. That's okay. But if you're using bots to cheat, absolutely not. So whatever.
Yeah, that's
They're working
different.
on it. Yeah,
different.
that matters. This is important. Who cares about hate crimes on Rocket League?
Exactly.
All right, Stu, do you have any news?
I have loads of news. First news story tonight is that Microsoft has laid off 10,000 people.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not just
Ugh.
one or two or 100 or even 1,000, 10,000 across the whole company. Phil Spencer said
he's one of them.
There were painful choices.
Yeah, I bet there was.
Of course. Not for him exactly or his team. He probably
He
didn't have to
said
let
this.
go
He
of his
acknowledged
personal
that
barista.
it's been a difficult week. And whilst this week's actions were painful choices, it set up the long-term success of our products and business.
Yeah, well.
The email, which was shared by Kotaku, followed Microsoft's enormous round-off of 10,000 layoffs, including Studio 343 Industries. And this is the email sent to the employees. Are you ready? He said, this has been a difficult week across Microsoft and here inside our teams. Now that many of the one-to-one and team conversations have happened, I want to take a moment to reiterate the message that you've heard from your leaders. This is a challenging moment in our business, and this week's actions were painful choices. The gaming leadership team had to make decisions that were felt set up for the long-term success of our products and business, but the individual results of those decisions are real. I know that hurts. This is going to make everyone happy, isn't it? Thank you for supporting our colleagues as that process begins and they process these changes. Over the coming weeks, we have many opportunities to connect and answer your questions, including the monthly gaming update next week for teams who attend that meeting. And I'm in close contact with the teams at ZeniMax to provide support.
Yeah, this is going to affect Bethesda, which is we got a problem now.
Yeah, the GLT and I are committing to being as transparent as we can be. Moving forward with ambiguity is challenging, but I'm confident that together we will get through this difficult moment in time.
See, here's what I don't get.
Let me finish what he said, and then you can respond.
All right.
Xbox has a long history of success thanks to the work you do in service of players, creators, and each other. Your work is so deeply appreciated and valued in these times of change and is integral to our business momentum. I'm confident in our future and proud to be part of this team, but also conscious that this is a challenging time, and I want to thank you for everything you do here.
So here's what I don't get. I just did a search for Microsoft Profits 2022, and I found their annual report from 2022. And it says, amid this dynamic environment, we delivered record results in fiscal year 2022. We reported $198 billion in revenue and $83 billion in operating income. So, like, I don't know. That sounds pretty good. Like, if the company's doing well, why are they laying people off?
Because they want more money.
Yeah, I know they do.
Because basically, this is how it goes, dude. Right? This is a typical shareholder. Hey, I want more fucking money.
Of course.
And then Phil Spencer goes, how do you want me to do that? Just get rid of some people. So he's like, right, I'll lay off 10,000.
That's an unethical business.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Structure, like
it is, but that's how these massive companies work constantly. That's what they constantly
I'm just mad
do.
about it. I'm never going to be okay with this process.
No, it is pretty shoddy. And I do feel those 10,000 people who've now all lost their jobs and who are probably struggling to make ends meet anyway with the financial crisis and.
Well, that's the thing.
going
I
up all over
recognize
the
that part
place.
of this is the fact of inflation and residue from supply chains, but it's also the people in charge of these companies expanded too quickly and now they have to contract again. So it's like, okay, where's the accountability for the executives who make terrible decisions? That's what I want to know.
And well, there isn't one. There isn't
Well,
any.
there should be. A civilized society would say this person's doing things wrong. They got to go.
You see, Phil Spencer will still get his massive salary,
Of course
and
he will.
will
And
also
bonuses and
probably
all
get a
that.
juicy fat bonus for getting rid of 10,000 people. Because he made that
probably.
difficult decision, that he's going to lose sleep
Yeah,
over.
well, that's what
Probably
everybody does.
not. Probably
We
not.
saw no accountability for the bankers in 2008. So
No, and there won't be any accountability for him either. Because that's just the way the world works, sadly.
Well, it doesn't have to be. That's my point.
No, it doesn't have to be, but that's what's
So
going to
let's
happen.
work on it. Let's see if we can fix it.
I
what's
love
next?
I love this headline. It's a bit more light-hearted, but equally probably untrue. Here we go. Not untrue about the 10,000 people, but how Phil Spencer really feels about his getting rid of them all. Dead Space remake is so terrifying, even the devs team struggles to play it.
Really?
Apparently so. In an interview with Play Magazine, technical director David Robillard admitted that they'd struggle to play it at night with headphones because it's too fucking scary.
Dude.
When I'm playing at night, I can't play with headphones. Just the amount of realism and again atmosphere, not just visually right, and the way we handle sound and ambience and effects and having systems that will try and spook you constantly.
Oh, please.
I know, I'm like, fuck off. We played the game before. It was, it made you
It's
jump.
scary,
a few
yeah.
times.
Well, like you might forget. Stop being a bellend.
Stop being such a fucking melodramatic wuss.
Yeah,
honestly,
you're just selling the game. It's just marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
Marketing spiel next.
Marketing shite. Okay, the DLC that's coming to Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty City.
Oh yeah, with Idris.
With Idris Elba is going to be the biggest budget ever allocated to a DLC by CDPR.
How much
Apparently,
are we talking? How much are we talking?
I don't know. It's fucking. It doesn't say, but it's going to be a lot of money. Apparently. I'm impressed. I've got to say that they're still, they still chose to invest this vast amount of money in DLC for a game. Like, let's be honest, got absolutely mauled at release.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they were willing to still support it, still invest in it. So, do you know what? Good on them. That they're willing to do this. But let's see what happens. I probably will play it.
How do we account for that? Like, is it that the company had enough strength from The Witcher 3 that they were able to sail through it, or like this is like
Definitely,
their
I think
last
that's some of
chance
it.
to like? I mean,
No,
they fixed a lot of
yeah,
the
but
stuff in the game.
Cyberpunk sold really well.
It did well, better than you think it did.
Yeah, very, very.
A lot
well.
of people complained about it, but it still did
But
really
they still
well.
got that money in the bank. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Right,
They've
right.
had to spend a bit more, maybe, like, fixing it.
And it's done a lot better since obviously that shaky start, and people have been buying it in sales and stuff. So they must obviously think there's enough of an install base that people will buy
Yeah.
this DLC
I'll-
and play
I
it.
mean, I think I'll go back to it at some point. I'll have to start it again
Yeah.
now, but I'll definitely go back to it at some point and play it.
Yeah.
Now that it's fixed.
Yeah. Talking of games we should go back to. Phasmophobia is set for a progression wipe to make way for an all-new leveling system.
Okay.
So big changes are on the way in the ghost hunting scene, including a full progression wipe in order to usher in a new leveling system. In a Steam update early this week, Kinetic Games outlined that it's ahead for the intrepid ghost hunters with version 8.1 and onwards rollout, including new difficulties, challenging modes, and a shop update.
Ooh, okay.
Noting that any and all information, I would imagine we should give this a go now, but it's so different than when we first played it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many updates since we played it.
I've
It'll be
still,
interesting
the
to
most
see how it
scariest thing about that was trying to set up the audio for you because you wouldn't.
Yeah, it
come
was.
through
Oh my god, that in itself will probably be infinitely easier now. Can we just say?
I hope so.
Probably just works. Google Stadia is officially dead. It has finally shut down. It's gone.
I
Done.
need to. Is it
Nada.
too late for me to get my money back? Because I haven't done that.
Don't do that. No, keep it because
No, you
on
still
the-
keep it. They give you
No.
the money back and they let you keep the controller.
Yeah, the control. Yeah, get your money back. But in addition, the controller now, they're doing an update.
I know.
That's
What
available.
I'm
to
saying
make
is
it
though,
just
like
a
they're
Bluetooth
giving money
controller.
back, and then you keep the controller. They're going to update the controller so you can
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So
I don't know
so
if
do
it's
that.
too late for me to get my money back.
No, is it? I would still try and do it. Just have a look it up, see what you can find. Last
It's a good
of Us
controller.
Di-
It's a good controller.
Yeah. No, just then you've got yourself a nice Bluetooth controller.
There you
Job
go.
done.
There it is. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Last of Us director not credited in HBO show, which has made
Yeah, I
him
saw that.
reconsider whether he should be in the union. So, what the fuck is going on with people? Seriously.
Well, what happened? What's
So
There's
The Last
two
of Us-
creators that made The Last
Yeah.
of Us.
Right.
Neil
Right,
Druckmann,
Neil
and,
Druckmann.
and the other guy. Right.
Bruce
And Neil Druckmann is the
Straley.
best one of them. He's the most important one. He's smart. He's wise. He's
Bruce-
friendly. He's loving.
Bruce Straley was the
Bruce Straley.
I don't know
co-director of
anything
the
about him.
original
I
Last
can't
of
vouch
Us.
for him. He's
And
probably a
Bruce
child
didn't
molester.
get credited, even though it's half his creation.
Yeah.
That's
He
whack.
basically left developer Naughty Dog after the release of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End and did not contribute to The Last of Us 2. Straley says that the lack of credit has made him wonder if the video game industry really does need unionization.
Duh.
It's an argument for unionization that someone who was part of the co-creation of that world and those characters isn't getting a credit or a nickel for the work they put into it.
Funny
Maybe
how
we need
people
to-
suddenly start saying unions are a good idea when they personally get
Yeah,
shafted by the
yeah.
system.
Yeah, there
How
was
about
some
this?
cash.
Let's all of us workers form one big union and demand justice from the bosses. What an idea.
Yeah. He said maybe we need unions in the video game industry to be able to protect creators.
There's
Yes,
apparently I
amen.
heard this
Preach.
on another podcast, right? But it's never been like announced or anything like that. But there seems to be a little bit of conflict between the two.
Ooh.
Well,
and
there must be because he left.
Fight,
Well,
fight,
but
fight.
the other thing is that this is the strange thing. They're both very active on Twitter, but they don't follow each other. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they just find that a bit weird.
Huh,
Yeah.
I actually just found a sound clip from Neil Druckmann about this whole situation.
Think about the predicament you in, dog, before you talk getting. I'm eating.
So there you go. He's got some words for his buddy.
So it
There you
seems like they don't get on, and he's
Yeah.
pissed.
Yeah. I think that's some of it, and he thinks he should get some cash.
I think he should get some cash.
Yeah, I do. If he
I mean,
co-created,
did he work on the show? No, but
But he
like,
helped create the
well-
world that the show's based on.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So should he get as much cash as like Neil, who probably worked on the show? No, but should he get
No.
some? Yeah. Should he get
Yes.
a credit?
Yeah, he should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not video game related, but Alec Baldwin has been charged with involuntary
Alec Baldwin.
manslaughter.
See, this is bullshit. Okay, so for those who don't know, there's a movie called Rust. It had nothing to do with the video game. Someone fucked up on the set. There's an armorer. Every time you do a movie, there's someone who's
Yeah.
in charge of the weapons, and that person needs to be checking, make sure there's no real bullets in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They handed him a gun with real bullets. He was supposed to point it at the camera and pull the trigger. He did. He killed someone on the set. And now they're charging him with involuntary manslaughter. And that's messed up because the actors, they're acting. Like, they don't know anything about
They are,
weapons.
but Duke, whoa, hold up a minute. He did an interview where he said he never pulled the trigger. He
Well,
said,
I
I
don't know
never
about
pulled the
that.
trigger.
That
I don't know
sounds
why the gun
bollocks.
went. I don't know why the gun
Right.
went off. It was nothing to do with me. I had nothing to do with it. I never pulled any trigger. I didn't shoot anybody.
That sounds like a dumb thing for him to say. He
Well, that's
sounds
what
like
he
someone
said.
who
He said it.
I know, right, but he's not being charged with lying, so that doesn't really have anything to do with it. The point is that he is probably panicking and he just wants to deflect attention away from himself, and I probably would too. If I killed someone, I don't know how I would deal with that. That would weigh so heavily on me. I mean, apart from the people I've already killed.
Correct.
The point is, though, that, an actor can't be held responsible because a gun was handed to
No.
them with live ammunition in it.
No.
It depends. We don't know the
It's the
circumstances.
handle of the gun. Every set has a gun handler or like
Yeah,
a team.
yeah.
It's
If
them.
you're working
They've been
with a
charged. Can I
monkey
just
on
say,
the
they've
set
been-
and the
they've-
monkey drops dead, that's not your fault.
They've been charged as well, so it's
Yeah,
not
that's
just
Yes,
him
right,
that's
and
been
that's
charged.
as it should be.
He shouldn't be charged. He shouldn't be
He
charged.
should not be charged.
But we don't know the circumstances, do
No,
we, surrounding
but-
this?
That's
So
true,
what
we don't.
happened? We
But
don't
based
know
on
whether
what
he
I
was told. He
understand-
just took it on himself to do it. We don't know what he did. We don't
Based
know.
on what I understand, it's bollocks for them to be charging him.
Have you seen the
Well-
clip of him getting arrested? Like,
No.
there's a body cam and like some police turn up. He looks mortified. Like he looks
Well,
like
of
a
course.
man broken.
Yeah, of course.
Horrible.
I mean, he's had some hard times in his life before this, and then like,
Yeah. Oh well.
So who knows? But
I like him in
anyway,
30 Rock. I don't know anything about him as a person, but I think
liked
this
him
is
in.
bollocks
I
idea.
liked him in Beetlejuice, and I liked
He's a
him
great actor.
in. I like it in everything he pops up. I think he's great, actually. But I really liked him in The Departed. I thought he was great in The
Oh
Departed.
yeah.
okay. Anyone who doesn't know, can I just let everybody know out there who doesn't know that if you have an Xbox and you have Game Pass,
I fucking do.
there is a free trial of Apple Plus for 3 months. I think it's either 3 or 6 months.
Okay.
So you can have Apple Plus TV for 3 months, and on that service is a film, not a film, but a TV show called Ted Lasso, which
Yes,
is
I hear.
fucking brilliant.
Yeah, one of these days we gotta get it for that. And what's the weekend one that where you go away? And you're
Oh, I
not
can't
actually
remember.
there? I want to
don't
see
know.
that. And Jon Stewart's show is on Apple Plus.
Yeah. Well, they've just announced that Ted Lasso is coming back in this spring for season 3.
All right. All right.
So hold your horses, if you're going to activate the subscription. Wait till nearer the time when we've got an exact date.
Yeah, good call.
Maybe a month or so before activate it. Watch the first 2 seasons, which are fucking brilliant if you've never seen them, and get ready for season 3. That's what I'm saying. So there you go.
Word.
It's going to be fucking amazing. Weird bit of news. Sky Oblivion. We remember this, the making a Oblivion
Yes.
mod in Skyrim
Yes, for no
engine
reason.
has now got a release date by 2025.
Wow.
For God's sake.
Oh,
I'm
gonna
sorry. I
care?
really respect the effort here.
Oh, man.
Why? What
Why?
is the point?
Why?
There's no point. Like it's
Oh.
it's an admirable undertaking in a way, but like, dude, you're making a game that already exists using an engine that's gonna be out of date very
Which
soon.
is so old now. I mean,
Which is
I mean,
right.
everyone
It's
says
like,
Skyrim looks ugly now.
Why bother?
Why?
I mean,
Why are
in
they
a way,
doing
look,
it?
in a way, this is like the ultimate Sisyphus, like the guy in ancient Greece who had to roll the rock up the hill over and over again. Like,
Yeah.
there's no point, but they've set out to do a thing and they're gonna finish it. And
Do you
that's
know
cool.
if they'd have done this by like 2016 or something, it would have been
Even
pretty
2020.
cool. Yeah, even
Even
2020, pretty cool.
But
and
at this
everyone would
point,
have
it's
probably played it.
so pointless.
2025. Well, there'll be that many other games to play by 2025. Who's gonna go back to Oblivion in Skyrim?
The
engine?
only people who are gonna play this are the people who are working on it.
Actually, I might play it. To be
Yeah.
fair.
Well,
I loved
maybe.
Oblivion. I loved it.
Okay.
Maybe I will. And maybe out of curiosity, I'll just have a look at it. I don't know. It is a bit of a weird one.
I don't think you'll play it very much.
No, I probably won't. We alluded to this earlier, but Last of Us TV show debuted with 4.7 million viewers,
Yeah.
That's a few.
which the show's first episode was the second largest HBO viewing premiere within the last 13 years. Do you know what the other one was?
What's that?
Breaking.
What beat
Bad.
it
I don't know.
in the last
That's
13
AMC,
years?
isn't it? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. So they both came out in the last
okay.
12 months. So there you go. So well done to The Last of Us. Though. I'm impressed. Here's a story that SLH will love, which is
Okay.
Stray, the game, is helping save real life homeless cats.
Ooh.
Nice.
So basically, a streamer was able to raise over $1,500 within 30 minutes for felines. And Debbie Distol, whatever, of the Stray Cat Relief Fund, and her team raised $6,500 through a 5K walkathon sponsored by Stray's publisher, Annapurna Interactive Entertainment.
Awesome.
So there you go. So people are raising money via the game for stray cats. So there you go.
Heck yeah.
So well done them. I like that. I don't like cats
Yay.
much, but that's an admirable thing to do.
Yeah.
But you dislike them dying even more.
Yeah. No, I think
A
that's
little,
fine.
a little less.
As much as I hate cats, I like cats a little more since I played the game. If that's anything
Okay.
to go by.
Well, there you go. So they've had a positive impact on your life.
I hate them slightly less. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Rumored PS5 Slim with detachable disc drive is not more powerful. So apparently, I didn't even know this was a thing. Did you know this, Chinny?
Nah.
So basically, they're going to do away with the PS5 Pro, right? So the one with the built-in disc drive is going.
Oh, I've got that one.
Yeah, well, they're getting rid of that.
Good.
So they're just going to have a PS5 Slim, right?
Good.
but it's gonna have a detachable disk drive, so you can buy it
yeah.
just standalone as a streamer only or a downloadable console,
Yeah.
or you can pay extra for a bundled with a disk drive that you plug in the back of it.
Good. Fuck it off.
So that's what they do.
It's over.
They haven't said whether it'll work with the existing PS5 diskless versions, but who knows? I guess we'll find out.
But
in due
don't
course.
stack it upright, because then things will melt and it'll
Yeah,
fall
that
apart.
the mallet fucking
I know, I'm
stopped
kidding.
working. Oh. And that's it for news. That's all the news is. Quite a bit of news though. It's pretty good. That.
I have one more thing for.
Oh, well, I
news.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
have
you're
got
gonna
another
like
news
this.
story. Sorry, I missed this one, but I'll
Well,
let you
you're
do
gonna
yours
like this
first.
one, Stu.
Go.
You're gonna like it. You ready?
I'm ready.
The Elden Ring GeoGuessr lets you fight the
Oh,
map
I
itself.
saw that. I didn't put it in. But I
What
saw
this
that.
means, but let's find out together with just an image.
I can tell
could
you what
find-
it is.
Let me read the fucking story. and then
I'm
you
telling
can
You
you
say
already,
two
I'm
how
reading
much
need
the
to
story.
fucking stop
I'm
talking
reading
over
a news
each other.
story. Why is
Okay,
this something
go.
that you're yelling at me about? With
All
just
right.
an image, could you
Yeah.
figure out exactly where you are in the lands between?
No,
A
I
new
fucking couldn't.
A new GeoGuessr type game for Elden Ring will test just that. It has more than 8,000 locations in Elden Ring's overworld and is free to play. The game will plop you into a location in the game with a street view like perspective that you can zoom and rotate in. From that information, you'll place a pin into the game's overworld map and see how far you are from the location. Quote, we captured hundreds of thousands of raw images before stitching them together to create the 360 panoramas, Redditor The Elden Child commented, describing the process of creating the immense GeoGuessr. We also created a semi-decent satellite map of the world to allow more accurate guesses. If you zoom in enough, you can see animals. So why don't this exist for Skyrim? I want to play this in Skyrim.
I'll tell you why that doesn't exist. Because fucking Skyrim looks the same wherever you are, Neely.
All right, you don't have to hate on Skyrim because you.
I'm
love
just
Elden
telling
Ring.
you that's why this would
It's
this
wrong.
will work.
Riften looks nothing like Whitehold. Okay, so shut your yap.
It looks the same wherever you are.
Sew up your cabbage hole. What's your news?
My news is I've forgotten. This is more depressing news as it goes.
Okay, I'm glad we're ending with depressing.
Unity has also laid off 300 staff.
Oh, jeez.
I know everyone's fucking laying
That's
everybody
sad.
off. Yeah, Unity laid off almost 300 staff due to current economic conditions. The CEO said this: we reassessed our objectives, strategies, goals, and priorities in light of the current economic conditions. And while we remain focused on the same vision, we decided that we need to be more selective in our investments to come out stronger as a company. As a result, 284 people have lost their jobs. Riccatello told the Wall Street Journal this was due to an overlap of multiple projects. We're dealing very specifically with overlap, and a handful of projects are going to the closet. That includes technology that would allow viewers to watch sports events from the angle of their choosing. In the current economy, it's not a good time to bring that to the market. We are letting that team go, even though we're thrilled with the work they've done. So thanks so
Good
much.
job, guys.
Great job, Bob. See ya.
Don't
Bye.
let the door hit you on your way out with your bitch ass.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Which affected other jobs across the globe. As part of our continued planning process, we're regularly assessing our resourcing levels against the company's priorities. We decided to realign. I love how they use all these phrases. We realigned it. Some of our resources to better drive focus and support our long-term growth. So basically, they went, we need more money and profit. So bye. Wow, these companies are just great, aren't they?
Well,
You don't
you
hear
know what?
Valve laying anyone off, do
My
you?
question to you is this:
Good question.
if you don't keep the ship afloat, then doesn't everybody die?
Well, that's true.
Oh, that's
but,
a boss.
But
speaking
the
right
executives
there.
aren't the ones sacrificing in order to keep the ship afloat.
Yeah,
They
those
never
them
are.
executives are there.
No, well, in Japan, some of the executives actually
Well,
take
that's
a pay
true.
cut.
There is a different corporate culture in Japan.
They take a pay
Maybe
cut
we
if
should
the
be a little
business
more
doesn't
like
do
Japan.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
No, in this, not
I
in
can't imagine what it
our
would be like for me to run
societies.
my own company. I don't think I would run a very good company.
Yeah.
Well,
there you
But
go.
maybe companies could be run as cooperatives so that we don't have one CEO making $700 million trillion and workers making 300
I hate
times
to be a
less.
realist, Duke, but that's never happening. Right,
It does happen a
okay.
lot. There's co-ops all over the world. What are you talking about? That's never going to happen. There are lots of co-ops. There's a taxi co-op here in town. There are farming co-ops. We get our heating oil from a co-op. There's supermarket co-ops where we live.
Okay.
There's
Right,
probably
anyway.
co-ops near you.
There probably is.
All
Right, let's have. There's one email, and then we can get the hell out of it.
Oh, sweet. We got an email. I'm not stalling for time.
email
like
this evening,
clap or
the
something
one
to
and
get up to turn the lights on.
the one and only email tonight is preposterous.
Oh yeah,
Fact
is this about
9,
space?
9 of 52. Here we go. All right then, gents.
Space.
All right, gents.
I'm in space.
I hope you're all well. This week's offering on how space travel is worthwhile and not completely useless to humankind is landmine removal.
Okay.
Salient in view of what's happening not too far away from us as we all speak. Theocol Propulsion, this is the name of a company, I'm guessing, uses surplus rocket fuel to produce a flare in a device that can be used to safely and effectively remove unwanted landmines across the world, and especially in parts of the world where children are most at risk of losing limbs and their lives to landmines. It's hard for me to diss this, really, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you would be a monster if you
Now-
dissed this one.
Can I just say this hasn't come from space? Right,
No,
just saying.
Still not come from
They're
space.
using
We should just make a
leftover
recording
rocket
of it. I need a
fuel,
sound clip. This didn't come from
But-
space, therefore fuck you.
But this is a really good use of something that's used for space exploration. So I will
Oh,
give
you've
it
done
that.
You've done it.
But it's
He's
not
won.
from space. It's no, he hasn't. It's not from fucking space. But I do appreciate that this is a really good thing to happen.
He's won.
He's not one. It's not from space. Anyway, until next week, you awesome bunch of gaming heroes. Keep up the good work. Strutty, so thank you very much. I've partially agreed, right? Partially agreed. That's it. But I've not fully agreed yet. I've still got to have something from space that has been discovered in space that makes a difference on Earth. Give it to me, man. Give it to me.
Okay. Well, I'm glad
Uh,
you finally agree that space is awesome. And that
No,
we
I
should explore
haven't.
forever.
No, I love
That's
space.
what you said.
By the
Those
way.
are your
Space
words.
is awesome.
I have a quote from Wanda Sykes at some point
But
that I'll
it's
play.
a
Remind me
pointless
next week,
cost
and
of
I'll
money.
play you the clip from.
Pointless costing money. Anyway, let's do some shout outs and get the hell out of here. So
Cool.
over to you,
Okay.
Dukio.
Yeah.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I think I remember them all, but let me look at my phone and make sure. Hey, it's 96% charged. I can unplug it. Unlocking my phone with my special code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It probably is.
Yeah. Amar's nephew beat cancer. That's freaking awesome. Hooray.
Nice. That's
gotta
good.
suck for a family. He was young too. He's a young child, but he's doing
Yeah.
well now. Hooray.
Aw,
Mr. Hero made us a bunch of awesome stuff. I'm wearing the white veteran gamer shirt.
I'm wearing a hat. I've got a hat
yeah.
on.
Channy, you need to start wearing your stuff. Oh, wait. You
I
haven't
haven't
gotten
Oh,
your
got
box
mine.
yet.
wait, he hasn't
You're
got
the
it.
least important of us all.
I am the least.
And Tana Brain is really nice and thoughtful. I always like seeing him show up on Twitter and stuff. So.
Always around.
Love to
Brian.
him.
Brian is always about.
He is.
Yeah.
Like Bri.
So cheers to that, lad.
Little Brian.
Right.
He's not little.
Little. I don't know. I've never seen him. I don't know what he looks like.
Yes,
Who
you have.
knows? Have I?
Yes.
When?
Oh my god.
Have we met him? Where have we
Yes.
met him? Have we?
Yes.
Tainted Brain. You see, I only know him as Tainted Brain, so I don't know who that is.
He's Brian.
He's Brian.
Brian?
He's Brian, and so is his wife.
So he is.
Yep.
All right, who's doing
Anyway, I'm
shout-outs
sorry,
next?
Tainted Brain, that I met you and I didn't know who you were, and then because you like Tainted
Man,
Brain.
you hate children.
I do. I
you
hate
want
him.
landmines to continue being used.
I
That's
do.
just-
I do. That's definitely
Oh.
what I think should happen. Right, Chitty.
Hello.
No, it's your shout out.
Shout-outs.
Shout out to my dad.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy
Yay,
birthday,
happy
Chinny's
birthday,
dad.
He is 79.
Wow, good age. Good age.
79, my dad.
Good age.
Now, apart from the fact that he can't see shit,
No, he can't.
He's not very. His eyes are pretty bad due to a very rare brain condition, which was like 20 years ago. So he's fine. But apart from that, which does age him a little bit because it's hard for him to sort of walk about and knowing like where things are. Apart from that, my dad is in tip-top shape for his age. To be fair, he's got good health. He's got his mind. He watches a lot of conspiracy videos on YouTube. But fair play.
Good
he's
him.
got
Good on him. Man. Fair
Good on
play
him.
to him.
and he loves them, and he talks to me about them, and he sends them to Tara and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, 79. We went out for a meal. My brother bought him tickets to see Chris Hadfield, the astronaut chap.
All right, okay. Oh, space.
Space. My dad loves space. Loves it.
I love
Well,
space.
tell him he's
Can I just
wrong
say?
for loving space because
No.
Stu hates it and he hates
No,
everybody.
you misunderstand me. I absolutely
I'm
love
kidding.
space. And
God,
I find
stop.
it
I'm
absolutely
kidding. Stop it.
fascinating.
Look,
I'm
my dad
kidding.
loves space,
Stop
hates
it.
Stu, which is really
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So, and I bought him a hat and a top, and me and Pete paying for the meal, and we got him. Yeah, he loves it.
Nice.
He just wants to be with the fam. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to.
Good on him.
That's all he wants to do.
Good on him.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you
79.
go.
My dad.
79. Well, do you know what? Whilst you're shouting out old people,
Yeah.
right?
I never said he was old.
Well, 79 is a very good age.
It's pretty
isn't it?
old. Yeah.
It's pretty old. But I've never really mentioned him. But I'm gonna not that he'll ever hear this or ever know anything about. But Kay's dad, right, is fucking amazing for his age. He's 85.
85. Yeah.
And he walks like every other day. He walks like 2 miles.
Yeah, man.
Right, still driving.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you met him, you'd think he was in his 70s, like early 70s. He looked so young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he said, bless his heart, right? It's actually quite a while ago, but it just made me think of it when you're talking about your dad. But at Christmas, he came to our house and we were chatting, and he said, do you know what? And we went, what? And he went, the way I feel at the moment, I don't think I'll ever die. And that's what he said. And I'm like, do you know what? That is such a great attitude. You know, he's super fit for his age. He's like I say, walks 2 miles. If you met him, like I say, you would have no idea he was nearly 90 on his way to 90. But he's so fucking funny. Just the stuff he comes out with.
My Auntie Marge is 80.
He'll never die.
My Auntie Marge is 89, right?
Yeah.
So her and my dad will turn 90 and 80 the same year. So they're going to do something for that.
Nice.
And I didn't even know she was 89. I thought she was like 85. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
she's like sprightly for her
and
age.
I was like, fucking hell, Marge, you're well old, right? And she has been wanting to die for like 30 years, right? So I don't know, like she's generally quite positive.
That's not really good thing.
No,
That's
she's
not
generally
like
quite
Kay's dad.
positive. She's generally quite positive, and she has a daughter, my cousin, who's she's with all the time, and she has like great grandkids and great grandkids and stuff. So I think she doesn't like actually say she wants to die, but like I remember like when her husband, my uncle, passed away when I was really, really young. I didn't really know him, and I remember like I was about like 14 or something, and she said, "I'll be dead soon." Right back then, all right, and it's almost like death has like made a deal with her, going, you know what? You said you were going to die, so now I'm going to drag it out for you.
I'll make sure you live for ages.
To be fair, Auntie Marge is an absolute. She's hard as nails, man. She's absolutely rock solid, and she's, you know, she's an old woman, but she's pretty good. Like you say, like Kay's dad. Like she's, you know, she definitely looks old. She definitely is not as quick as she used to be, but you know, for 89, she's all right. You know, she's got all of which she always remembers everybody's birthday. You know, she's still got a mind. Like, you can't ask for much really than that.
No, like I say, Kay's dad, like, if you met him, you would have no idea who it was.
I keep thinking I'm going to die, like, next week. Like, my body falls apart. Like.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
You know, every week I'm like, oh, God, why have I got this twinge in my leg?
Quiet. Englishman.
So, yeah.
Death's got something for you.
Salute to the Oldens.
Let's say, salute the oldies. That's a good
right.
thing. We like that.
Well done.
Stu, have you done yours?
Yeah, I did it. Kay's dad.
Okay, we're done with the shout outs. Is that it?
That's it. We're done.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Won't you? Hello? Won't you? Stop saying hello. Won't you? Won't you just lift off
Maybe
your
people should
television
think
and go
before they
do
speak.
something less boring instead. Sitting at home, watch TV, hurry up, home to me.
Bitcoin ain't nothing but soybeans on the computer.
See, this is not very realistic, Chinny, with the power wash, because it wouldn't stretch up that high.
Well, I've got an extra long extension.
Yeah, it's
Never mind
powerful.
about that
thing.
shit.
He's got a powerful hose, hasn't you, Chinny?
It may be that a simulator doesn't need to be 100% realistic.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe people should think before they
By the way, Chinny. I'm not Chinny. Duke, even not
Yes,
Chinny.
Stu.
Duke.
Yes.
I listened to most of that mix while I was cooking.
It's a good mix, isn't it?
It's pretty good. The only thing I would say is it's a bit frantic.
It is very frantic. He's
It
trying to get
chops
through
and
so much
changes a
stuff.
lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's another DJ I really like who's really good at scratching, but like he switches songs every like 15 seconds, legit. And I'm like, stop it! I want to hear this song.
Yeah, you want to hear a
Goddamn, what are you
bit.
doing?
I mean, some of the songs he didn't even play in full. He just played a sample from it and then moved on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which is
And
fine. I
must
liked
say,
it. Don't get me wrong. There's some of the
it's a
songs
good
like,
mix.
oh,
But
great.
he
What are you
says
talking
that
about?
there's some mix that I found that does like a history of dance music, and it starts
From
in like the 80s and then
1990
it
up to
goes through.
2022. So he basically
Right.
plays the whole of. I mean, he had the
Right.
crowd going, didn't he? I mean, let's
He did.
be honest.
Now here's the thing. He said at one point, "Here comes the greatest dance track of all time."
Yeah,
and
it was a bit shit.
Silenced by Delirium. I'm like, no, that's a good song.
That's a good
not
song,
the
but it's not the
dance song
greatest
of
track
all
ever
time.
made.
And he had just played Born Slippy, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, and he
that's-
played Hey
that-
Boys, Hey
That's
Girls
higher in
by-
the ranking than. I mean,
Hey
I
Boy,
love
Hey Girls
Delirium,
by
but-
Chemical Brothers, which is also
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. Right. I wouldn't play Hey Boy, Hey Girl. Like he only played one track from each artist, didn't he? Why that one?
Yeah. I like that song. I like Hey Boy,
It's a
Hey
good
Girl.
song, but it's no Setting Sun or like Block
Superstar
Rockin'
DJs,
Beats.
let me go.
It's
no,
a good song. It's just
you know, it's no
like donkeys on the mix.
sunset rises only in the north.
No, it
You
isn't.
know.
It isn't.
Yeah, it's no Rue Britannia.
It's not.
I agree.
Cat
Block
flaps.
Rocking Beats is also very good.
Oh man, Mwah. I like describing. One of my journal topics for the students is, "What's the best day of your life so far?" And I always talk about the day I got married, 7707, and I say in the reception we played lots of Block Rockin' Beats, including the Chemical Brothers song "Block Rockin' Beats," and no students laugh because they don't know that song.
They
but
have
it's
no
a great
idea what
line.
you're talking about. I also loved it when he said, "I like it when you go to the chill out room and just played the whole of All I
Yeah,
Need,"
yeah.
which I fucking
Oh, yeah,
love that
sure.
tune. I love that
Oh,
album
yeah,
in
no doubt.
general. It's such a good album
yeah.
for chilling.
I think Moon Safari is their better one, but whatever.
Oh, give over. All I Need is way better than Moon Safari.
It's a good
No, Moon
album,
Safari is
but-
the album. No, All
Oh
I
no,
Need
you're
is-
right. You're right. It is. Duh. I was thinking. Never mind. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
So we
Duh.
agree.
Duh. Such a great
And
album.
on that note, Stu has to get up early.
I do, so I will go. Thank you guys. I
Right.
will
Have
speak
fun
to you
power
both
washing.
Right.
Have a good
Yeah,
week.
we'll do. Have we got a game to play this week? We're going to play something?
Oh yeah, pick a game.
Shit, let me have a look. I don't
When's
know.
that DLC coming out for Power Wash Simulator?
Yeah, when's that happening?
Hey, how about this? Well, never mind. I was gonna say Need for Speed Unbound. Y'all could play that if it's available, but
I can play it 'cause it's on Game Pass.
because that's on. Okay, well.
No, it's not on
uh,
Game Pass. Oh, the
it is on
demo
Game
is.
Pass.
Like,
Yeah,
there's a
the
trial
demo
on
is.
The
Game
demo,
Pass.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
play
yeah.
the demo.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
do
but
that.
you've already played that.
So what? It's
So
one
what?
less thing for me to do.
You've already played it. Isn't it? Let me have a look. Let me have a quick
Have a
look.
look.
Let's
I'm
okay,
having a
why
quick
don't
look.
me and Stu play it, and then we can give our opinion. That's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a
And
minute,
I'll be
just a
playing
minute.
more of it, so you know.
What's been recently added?
I think the idea, Stu, is that we talk about games that we've all played, which still counts in that scenario because Duke
Do you
has played it.
think?
Yeah. Like,
You want something new?
I was going to suggest Stranded Deep, which came on Game Pass.
Yeah, I've seen that, but you've played that, all of
I
it.
know, yeah, I know.
So have
I'm
I.
just
I
saying,
played a lot of it, but not all.
Yeah, I haven't played any of it, but that's. What about Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition?
Sure, let's do that.
What's that?
Deep action RPG, which tests your sanity and resilience in a shattered world. I'm assuming it's a bit
Okay.
of a Dark Souls alike.
Okay, text it to me and I'll make sure to play it.
Okay, well, the Mortal Shell. I'll put it in the.
Alright.
I'll put it in
Put
the,
it in the
veteran gamers
chat.
WhatsApp. I'll put it in the WhatsApp.
Okay, put it in the WhatsApp.
Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition. We'll play that.
Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition. Got it.
Now,
All
is
right,
that
have a good
PC
week.
only? I don't know whether that's PC only or console and
I don't
PC.
know.
Don't know. You'll have to have a look, Chinny. Okie dokie. I will see
All
you
right. Peace out,
guys
fam.
later. Bye.
Bye.